Are you guys ready? Whoa. 1 second. There we go. You guys ready? Let's do this. How are you guys doing? Let me make sure the chat's working over here on the stream part here. Where is it? Chat. Chat, where are you, chat? There it is. There we go. Chat's working. How you guys doing? Welcome to the stream tonight. We got our shot chart up as always. I do not have any more Dr. McGillicuddy's right now, so kind of cheating, but I've swapped the doctor for some seltzer. Bud Light seltzer. It is what it is. It's just what I got. I still have Jaeger. I still have the Cannon Blast, all that jazz. So I just wanted to be upfront and honest about that. As always, drink responsibly. Nobody has to give any sort of money ever. It's fine. But if you would like to, and you'd like to support the channel, it's all good. We are on our road to E3, right? We're coming up. You know, we're about a week away from being under a month away, right? Something like that. 6 days from now, it'll be exactly 1 month to E3. And today's big news is obviously that Nintendo dropped all their financials. And in their financial report, we obviously got the fact that Nintendo Switch has sold like 84.6 million units, officially passing the GBA. It's probably already passed the PlayStation 3. However, obviously, we don't have official numbers for that. That's just guessing on sales from March 31st to today. But I'm presuming it's probably past PlayStation 3 as well. But anyways, it passed GBA. And also, what's interesting is that, obviously, I talked about this briefly in my last video. It was obviously in the headline because it's kind of a big deal. Shintaro Furukawa admitted that a massive reason their research and development money has hit record highs, by the way. $800 million spent on research and development. Nintendo has never spent that much on research and development. Yes, some of that goes in the software development, but a huge reason, and he admitted it, is because Nintendo now knows Switch is at its midway point in life, and it is investing in the next hardware. So there you go. Nintendo said it. No more, people claiming that I'm clickbaiting, fake. Oh, there were people claiming I clickbaited today. What do you want me to say? Nintendo is doing what they're doing. They are saying this themselves. Nintendo said, we are now investing heavily in what comes next. What? I don't know how much more clear Nintendo can be without announcing a system that's not going to come out for 4 years. 3 years, maybe. Anyways, let me say hi to everyone in the chat. Yeah, if you'd like to get a shout out in the chat, be sure to say something so I can see your username pop up. We got A. Evie here. Stare at Me is here. Nick Forrest. Birdman. Goat 816. Always the goat, baby. Mr. Lathango is here. Nick Forrest, I guess I said hi to you already. Let me see here. Sly Keth is here. Shane Himes is here. Kraz is Koth is here. Flipdo, how's it going? It says favorite time of the day is Nintendo Prime Time. I think Switch will pass the PlayStation 2 in its 8th or 9th year. That is obviously assuming that the Switch is still going strong with at least 10 or 15 million units in its 8th or 9th year. I don't know that that's going to happen, but it's not impossible. You can see a path to Switch becoming the best-selling system across board, home or handheld, of all time. There is a pathway to pass PlayStation 2. I don't know that Switch is going to be able to stay on that pathway. I think a Pro model is key to that pathway, but I don't know that it's going to quite get there. We have to wait and see, okay? Nintendo did just have its best year of sales ever, essentially selling like a hair shy of 29 million units this last year, which, by the way, is bigger than the peak years of every single system in the history of gaming, except the Nintendo DS. The Nintendo DS did have, I think it was 3 or 4 peak years that were technically higher than this. And maybe this isn't Nintendo Switch's peak year. Maybe Switch is going to peak even more. We'll have to wait and see. All right. We got Joseph Erickson here. Sebastian Padilla is here. Electro TDS Gaming is here. Noah Hankel says, "What up, Nintendo Prime? How's it going, man?" Retro G Future. Thomas Tankzos is here. We got Antonio Gomez. Benulos? I don't know. I can't pronounce names very well. Mur, the gravitational adept, is here. Segwin, the Pikachu fan. Oh, we had a jump there. Let's see here. Ricky is here. We got 0 Point Primal Sonic the Hedgehog. What a long name. Welcome. He said, "I've heard a Waluigi controller is being made." You are correct. By Power A, there is a Waluigi controller being made. We got J-Star here. Electro TDS Gaming is here as well. Gerardo Vega. Chris on the cutting edge is here. We got Retro G Future. Welcome to the stream. Mikado, Nurakami. If you just got to the stream, I am shouting out people who say something in the chat. I'm trying to get to all of you guys. I know we got 70 plus here going. We got Kyle Kelly here. Noah Hankel is here asking how it's going. It's going fantastic. We got Shane Himes. The next hardware has to be just an upgraded Switch. No, I mean, it's just hard to see them going away from the Switch hybrid model at this point. They'll always need a handheld, and I doubt they'll want to separate their handheld and console teams again, says Shane Himes. We got Ultra Splash God is here. You said 816 last time? I'm sure I did. Whatever. Jin Cherky 89 is here and complaining about his supervisor yet again. I'm pretty sure you were bitching about that last stream. We've all had bad bosses. It is what it is. Ice Sonic is here. Joshua Law. I don't think they should do a Switch Pro. I think they should make a new next-gen Switch 2. Well, here's some good news for you. Nintendo is making a new next-gen Switch. They talked about it today. The bad news is for you, it's probably not going to be here for 3 or 4 years. Take that for what it is. Let's see here. Owen and the Fifth Element Elsa. Is that is that like a book or something? Because I know the Fifth Element, the movie, right? Starring Bruce Willis back in the day. We got Gina Baby here. Attack Titan. And Philly 420 is here. 420. I wonder what you're doing at that time. Colin Unger RZ is here. Says, "Hello there. Thanks for replying to your tweet earlier." No problem. I try to reply to as many people as I can. Just like I'm trying to shout out everyone in the chat. Don't expect me to shout out everyone in the chat during E3. It's going to be nearly impossible. We'll have like a little 10-minute segment set aside to try to shout out as many people as we can. But I got a feeling we might be in the hundreds, the thousands, or the millions of viewers. So it'll be impossible to shout out everyone, but I'll try my best. Let's see here. Kalahad Maki is here. Says, "Hi, Nintendo Prime. What do you think of Mario Strikers game soon? After all, they will need spin-offs since Mario Kart 9 and the next main Mario are years away." Well, we don't know the next main Mario is years away, right? We don't factually know that just because we think the Mario Odyssey team is making a Donkey Kong game. That doesn't mean it's actually years away. So we'll have to wait on that one. As for Mario spin-off games, I mean, we just got Mario Golf, we got Mario Party last year. There's a ton of Mario spin-off games. So Mario Strikers would be great. There is some rumors out there about a Mario Strikers. Nintendo's going to do what Nintendo does. Mario sells. So I think they're going to wait and see. Hey, what's Mario Golf do? Oh, Mario Golf is blowing up. All right, let's make more Mario sports games. I think that's kind of a wait and see approach. That guy is here. Because, that guy. Nick Forrest. Are you going to get the $100 Pro Controller? I don't know if I can show you. I already have it. Technically. It's not here yet, but it's I was on back order and it shipped yesterday. So let's see here. I'm pretty sure it shipped yesterday. I think I got an email about it. Going through my emails. I got a lot of emails. I'm kind of a big deal over here. Kind of a big deal. Oh man. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I don't want to show the details too much here, but shipping confirmation. I know you guys can't really see it that well, but shipping confirmation there for the Power A Pro Controller. So that is a thing. That is definitely a thing. All right. I plan to do a video on it, by the way. At least talk about, is it really worth spending $100 on this versus I have the other PowerA wireless controllers, I have a Switch Pro controller. So we'll talk about the merits on, who this controller is for, and if it's worth spending your money on. So we'll talk about that. Plus, it's got some swappable faceplate things. I don't know if it comes with the extra faceplate, to be honest. Because I had the black version. I'm not sure if it comes with the white faceplate. Let's see here. I'm just going back up because I think I missed a little bit. We got Nathaniel Austin is here. You've been enjoying the videos and the new setup? Oh, thank you. I try. Yeah, I try. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm trying my best to make my videos not take as much time in editing because I guess I have a job besides YouTube, right? So I don't have the time to spend hours and hours editing like I once did, where I could put in fancy edits and stuff. Every now and then I'll throw a little something in, but I try to compensate for the fact that I'm not going to be relying on necessarily lots of fancy editing, and instead provide really nice looking sets, right? And if I do that, which right now I'm working off of one set that I change angles on for the podcast versus my normal videos, but that's going to be changing in the future. So by using practical sets, enables me to convey, I guess, I don't know, is it an air of professionalism? I don't know what you call it. It just conveys something better than just, I guess, sitting with a gaming collection. It's just different. It's just different than what other people do. There's nothing wrong with what other people do. I just want people, when they watch one of my videos, the moment it starts, I want them to know, oh yeah, that's a Nintendo Prime video. And I feel like we're getting there. So, let's see here. Victor Gankov is here. That guy is here. You're a beast, man. I try. I think that's everyone. That's it. Raid Shadow Legends is here. Always happy to see Raid Shadow Legends in chat. Still waiting for that epic collaboration. AKA, why don't you come sponsor my videos, huh? Group 678 is here. Says, how's it going, Nate? I'm doing all right. Christopher Lockhart's arrived. All right. I think I've caught up. That dude who hates life, YT. Oh, boy. I hope you don't hate your life too bad. Your walls are as bare as mine. Well, here's the thing. I know that this wall looks barren. This wall, for those who remember, I don't know, what is it, 4 months ago when I used to have the gaming collection in the background? This is the wall the gaming collection was on. That gaming collection has moved. This wall I need for E3. So there's stuff that's going to be happening to it in the next, I think in about 2 weeks. The stuff's already shipping to me. It's coming from China, so hoping it's here in 2 weeks. Might take a month. But this wall will be completely different, is basically what I'm saying, by the end of the month. Whether or not you see it on live stream, I don't know. I might save the reveal till E3. Who knows? Maybe I'll decide just one stream. Let me tease you guys a little bit what's going on. It's going to be pretty sick. Let me see here. You're excited about Mario Striker. Good. I was going to say hi at E3 2018 at Nintendo's booth, but you were too busy with Eric getting footage. Dude, yeah, Nathaniel Austin, man. Yeah, man. I mean, you should have said hi. We don't mind if people interrupt us, but yeah, when we're at, here's the thing. So a lot of people, E3 is a wonderful place. It's a great convention. Really great for networking, talking to people, meeting friends, meeting other YouTubers, meeting fans. Here's the thing. I'm just a different flavor when I go to E3. What I mean is, when I attend E3 in person, whether it's with a media badge, which I had in 2016, or a gamer badge, which I had in 2018 and 2019, I'm there to work, right? So you mentioned getting footage. Yeah, I'm there to play games, get footage, try to get information, make videos. That's what I'm there for. It's all business all the time. Like, you should see how crazy after spending, 10 hours on the show floor and getting as much footage and as much of this and much of that as I can. Well, on our way back to the hotel, we'll get a bite or we'll order some food in. And then we'll sit there at the hotel, and I literally will not go to sleep until like 2 or 3 a.m. because I'm too busy editing, getting videos up, maybe slipping a little live stream in, this or that. And then, boom, 6 a.m. comes, and you spin around and do it all over again for 3 straight days. It gets crazy. So, like, when I go to E3, it's all business for me. But I'm always willing for people, if people want to say hi to me, chit-chat for a bit. The lines are long sometimes. It's all right. I can set down the camera for a moment and chit-chat. So if you ever see me anywhere, don't be afraid to come up and say hi. Difference if you see me with my kids. Yeah, if you guys ever see me with my kids anywhere, yeah, kind of stay out of that, all right? I try to keep my family separate from this stuff for as long as I possibly can. So yeah, let's, you see me with my family, you just kind of let us be. Let us have our fun. Let us eat dinner. Let us do what we're doing. Because there might be a future time when my fiance might be coming with to E3 to help. And if I'm out with like lunch with her, maybe have a little respect. You see me on the show floor, I don't care. That's fine. Come talk to me. But let's see here. Mr. Llama mentioned Samus Hunter. I'm glad you brought her up because I knew this was going to come up today. Mentioned that Samus Hunter said Nintendo's E3 news would come today, and it still has not happened. So let's clarify exactly what Samus Hunter said. Because I talked to Samus Hunter today about it, and I went back and looked at what she said. What she said is on May 6th, Nintendo was either going to reveal their E3 plans publicly or reveal them internally. She didn't say or guarantee that we were going to hear anything about the E3 plans today. She just said, hey, we might because, hey, it's at least going to be shared internally, suggesting that many departments in Nintendo, especially Nintendo of America, did not know the E3 plans yet, which means if Nintendo is sharing their E3 document plans right now with staff, they're not announcing it publicly yet. Next week, probably. I think one thing to consider here is what was announced today for E3, right? E3 today announced a bunch of new partners, right? Square Enix already technically announced on their own, but they added in Sega and Bandai Namco and others. So with that announcement coming today, I think a lot of this is where Nintendo has what they're doing at E3, but they're shifting schedules and moving things around to fit with their partners. Because you got to remember, Sega, Bandai Namco, I know Koei Tecmo might partake a little bit. Square Enix, these companies make games and work directly with Nintendo. So there's a lot of coordinating that needs to happen to decide, okay, when are we going to do our stuff? What are we going to show versus what our partners are going to show? And how are we going to time and organize things with everyone else? So that's why I think that internally some of the plans have been shared today. Externally, we're not going to hear about it, at least for a week, I don't think. I would say by Friday next week, we'll probably have an idea. That or it's possible things are going to be different this year. This isn't all digital E3. It's possible that the ESA wants to be the one to announce the E3 schedule because they're the ones running the show. So that's something to consider as well. But Samus Hunter technically didn't promise we were going to hear stuff today, just that we might, but definitely it would be shared internally what the plans were. So, and she said she'll have more information after the weekend for me. Maybe exactly what the plans are, something like that. I guess weekends must be when she talks to her contact. So, let's see here. I never thought the Switch would be where it is currently. I don't think anybody thought the Switch would be where it is currently. Gerardo Vega says, your content is. Hey, thanks. I'm glad you think so. Not everybody always thinks so. Speaking of my content being like that. So tomorrow morning, I got to take my car in to get the tires changed. And we're doing it at Jiffy Lube, of all places, right? No problem with Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube they've here's the thing. I've been to a lot of places to get car work done. Jiffy Lube's the only place I've been to where they basically will do what they call standard maintenance, with just something like an oil change. And they will essentially check everything on your car and see, hey, if your check engine light's on, let's actually figure out what the problem is. You don't have to fix it today, and you could take it to another mechanic, but we'll tell you exactly what's wrong, which obviously encourages you to use their service because, hey, they're being friendly and not charging you to figure out what's wrong. A lot of times when you take your car to the mechanic and you just want to find out what's wrong with it, they're going to charge you just for the labor to see what's wrong with it. That's not the case at Jiffy Lube. Like, you go in for an oil change and whoop, they just get everything done. So we're getting our tires done there. We actually got a good deal. So that's tomorrow morning. So I'm pretty excited about that. But the reason I had to check is because I needed to make sure I had a certain payment hit my bank so I could actually afford the tires. I drive a Dodge Durango Citadel. Those tires are huge and they're expensive. It's going to be like $800. I think. I mean, I don't even know if that includes taxes, so it might be like $900. So let's see here. I was gonna get the party started with a bang, though. With a bang, we gotta get the beer cracked up in here. Gotta get the beer cracked. Just have to. It's like a requirement. Remember, drink responsibly. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. But we're gonna crack the beer. I'm gonna get the party started. We're gonna get the $1 donation in. Get the Miller Lite. Just oh man, I can't even get it twisted. The twist top, I think. There it is. All right. Let me scroll down to the chat. Remember, if you guys have any questions for me, just at Nintendo Prime in the chat. This is a Q&A, a little conversation chat. I am super impressed that Nintendo has passed the GBA. I did not think that was possible. I did not think Switch would do this back when it launched. I always thought Switch was a good idea. I wasn't a skeptic like some were. Because the moment they showed off Switch in October of 2016, I'm like, this makes so much sense. There's nothing in the marketplace that does it like this in a convenient way. Yes, there's been prior platforms. The Vita, you could play on the go and hook up to your TV if you knew what you were doing. There's been your phones you can hook up to your TV. Like, this isn't a new idea. It's just nobody's done it to the level and the ease of use that Nintendo did, which I thought it was brilliant, and I thought it was going to blow up. I was right. I didn't know it was going to blow up this much because I wasn't sure if we were looking, is this thing going to sell like a handheld or is this thing going to sell like a home console? Handheld, oh, it's going to hit 80 million, no problem. Console, well, maybe it's going to be a 50, 60 million, which is really, really good for a home console for Nintendo. I mean, literally, outside of Wii, this is the second best-selling home console, because Nintendo calls it a home console, in the world. Well, for Nintendo, that is. Like, the second best ever. And it's probably going to pass Wii. It's not going to be the best ever. So, yeah. Cheers to myself for my $1 super chat for breaking it up. All right. Bro, you donated to yourself. Mudkit Gamer. This is the first time you've been to a Nintendo Prime stream. Go ahead and ask the crowd. How often does Nintendo Prime end up super chatting himself? Go ahead and ask the crowd. Ask them. I dare you. Think we're into you think we Nintendo fans will lose our voices at E3? I don't think you guys will. Question is, will I? One reason that I'm starting to do these nightly streams, beyond the fact that my fiance now works late, so I'm filling my time with you guys. What I like about what I'm doing is by doing these streams every night, I'm training my throat. I'm training my voice to handle doing this talky for hours on end every single day. That way, by the time I get to E3, my voice will be trained to handle 12-hour live streams for 4 days. So, Nintendo Prime donates to itself more than it gets donations. That's not entirely true, but I mean, it happens. There have been some nights, I suppose, I've probably donated more than anybody else. Let me see. Also, it surpasses the Xbox 360. Well, I mean, duh. I hope it passes the PS2. We'll see. It's gonna be hard. Noah Hankel says all the time. What do you think of the supposed upcoming Kirby game? Man, what do I think of the upcoming Kirby game? Nothing, because I haven't seen it. What am I supposed to think? We get Kirby every year. So until I see it, yes, I'm sure we're getting Kirby games this year because we get one every year. I can't put thoughts to something that doesn't exist. At least exist where we know anything about it. I'll just say, I hope it's really good. I didn't mind Star Allies, but Star Allies kind of felt like a phone-it-in game. Then again, I feel like they've been phoning it in with Kirby for quite some time. So we'll see. I'm assuming they're just going to phone it in again. Matthew shouting out Tamagotchi Life for Switch. You're a cashier, so you should be set. Yeah, you do talk a lot as a cashier. Actually, when I was a cashier, I didn't talk that much. I just said, hi. Having a good day? Would you like paper or plastic? Your total is... all right. See ya. Like something like that. I've already said more in this stream than I usually say in a typical day as a cashier for 8 hours. But that's because I don't know, I was friendly to the customers. I just didn't talk to anybody else. Victor Genkov. How you doing, man? Are you guys having a good day today? It's Thursday. Thursday, May 6th. Some of you, I know, don't lie. There's somebody in the chat who celebrated Cinco de Mayo last night. Somebody celebrated Cinco de Mayo last night. Come on. Be honest. Who in the chat celebrated Cinco de Mayo? I didn't. As you guys know, I was doing the Nintendo Prime podcast live last night with me, Eric, and Game Over Jesse to record numbers. Thank you guys so much. It is now officially the most watched Nintendo Prime podcast of all time. Likely going to cross 7,000 total views by the end of tomorrow. That's not counting the audio version, which went up today. So, thank you guys for showing support for the podcast. I appreciate it. And again, that support was just showing up. I'm not talking about super chats or donate. I'm just talking about showing up and watching and having a good time. And that's what I really hope for the most during E3. It's not about if you come to E3 and you donate or do anything crazy. Sure, that might happen. But what I really care about during E3 is you guys just coming together, us coming together as a community, showing up in big numbers, showing support for the channel, support for each other, and giving you guys a bunch of cool shit while we get to enjoy gaming Christmas together. Right? I want it to be a celebration of gaming, a celebration of gamers. So, Groove just hit us with a $5 tip. Says, I predict, I gotta look over here for it. I predict Metroid Prime 4 will be the best-selling Metroid game at roughly 4 to 5 million, which is right around what Metroid Prime did, the first one. A bunch more niche series are finding a second lease of life on Switch. Pikmin, Bayo, Captain Toad, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Thank you so much for the support. Let me get your $5 shotty in. I will say this. I think that I think you're actually underselling. I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to hit like 8 million. I don't think it's going to quite get to 10. But can it come close to Luigi's Mansion 3 numbers? I think so. Because Luigi's Mansion kind of sold sort of like a Metroid game over the years. So I think it's actually gonna that's assuming it actually comes out sometime in the next 2 years. Gosh knows, Retro Studios is making it, and I don't know what the hell's going on with Retro Studios. They have such a hard time getting games out. I mean, what was the last game they got out back in 2013? 2014? Whenever Tropical Freeze released? Like, man, it's been a long time, and Retro Studios has only been working on Metroid Prime 4 for like 2 years. So, whatever they were doing in between, they failed to get games out. So I always worry with a studio that was struggling to get games out, like, how do I really know you're going to get Metroid out? Like, how do I know? Just because you threw together a good pitch to Nintendo, that's a pitch. Let's see you get to the finish line with a non-2.5D side-scroller. It's been a long time since they've actually made a Metroid Prime game. I mean, we're talking back to the Wii days. It's been a long time. Cheers. Seahawks 24 Rule says he's excited to watch E3. So am I. I'm just glad the podcast has been back, says Cody Shadley. Yeah, it's not back on like a weekly schedule. But I'm trying. It's all about the guests. I will not do a podcast if I don't have a guest. Now, I'll do a separate conversation stream with Eric or a conversation video, but I won't do a full podcast without a guest. The guest is one of the things that I have aimed for with the podcast to be, hey, if we're going to do a podcast, I want to make sure we have at least a third, if not a fourth person every single time. I don't want the quality of the podcast to go down, which, no offense to Eric, but other people bring different perspectives. I already know what Eric's going to say, and I know I talk a lot. Okay. It's one reason I'm a YouTuber. I talk a lot. I know. There's some people that always criticize me. You're saying a lot. You talk a lot. I know. All right. I know. That's probably why I'm not invited on other people's podcasts, because I don't shut up. We don't know what time E3 is going to be at. We just know the days. The only people that I think have announced a day and time was Square Enix, I think. I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is going to happen. Ooh, that's a hot take. Metroid Prime 4 is just canceled. I did put that as an option in the poll the other day, kind of as a joke. And then people were actually like saying it's going to get canceled. I'm like, oh boy. Oh boy. I'll be back later in the stream. All right, man. See you in a bit. What's up, Thomas Tanzos? Welcome, man. Says hello, buddy. You're surprised 3D All-Stars didn't hit 10 million? I mean, it probably would have if they didn't remove it from the market. I mean, it wouldn't have last fiscal year, but whatever. Nintendo made their decision. We don't need to go back on the 3D All-Stars decision. That was just something I hope Nintendo never does again, that they're obviously going to do again. You should go on the Joe Rogan podcast. No thanks. One, I'm not into UFC. And yeah, I know he talks about other stuff, but no thanks. I mean, he's got a huge audience. But I'm good. I like the way my audience is growing over here. We're growing together. Did I hear about the new Smash rumor? What's that? There's always Smash rumors out there. I am very skeptical about any Smash rumor. They're almost always fake. Smash rumors are like fake 99.9% of the time. And yet there's entire YouTube channels dedicated to just daily Smash rumors. It is what it is. You know, we covered a lot of rumors. I respect the hustle. But I mean, I also put a tinfoil hat on. It's not like I'm sitting here, oh yeah, this is going to happen. Like, no, it's not. The Kirby rumor is going to be a 3D platformer, so easy, like Star Allies. But I don't know, well, it's a 2D platformer. But I don't know, well, 2.5D, whatever you want to call it, side-scrolling platformer. I don't know, would they make it hard with infinite jumps? No. Kirby's never been super difficult. Even like if you go back to like the old school Game Boy at NES Kirby's, you know, the original Return to Dreamland and all that, like they were difficult, sort of. But in comparison to like Kid Icarus, Metroid, and others, Kirby was pretty easy. Kirby's always been like that entry level platformer, right? Like that's been Kirby's stick. Like Mario is interesting because Mario would be entry level for the first world, and then by the time you get to world 4 or 5, now you got to be actually legitimately be good at the game. Kirby is always the game that just kind of steadily stays easy throughout. So Kirby's never going to be a super difficult game. That's just not what Kirby is. Which is why 2D Metroid this year, that rumor out there, that's kind of exciting because that's going to be a more difficult platformer with some puzzle elements and all that jazz too. I want a Metal Gear Solid collection. All right. Wah, he intensifies this. Wah! Mother 3 for Smash. Oh boy. You know, Mother 3 is like overall a game, right? You don't. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna turn on Are you gonna turn on Smash one day and it's gonna have like the SNES cartridge from Mother 3 hopping around as like a character? They already have the characters from Earthbound in the game. Like what I mean, come on. Kirby is a walking god. That's why he's so OP. Because he's the hero of Smash. Because he's always the hero of Smash. I mean, that's just like because, you know, Sakurai created the character. Like that's one of Sakurai's babies. That's why Kirby's always like the frontliner, always saving the day. Mother 3's GBA, not SNES. I'm sorry. Although I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Maybe I'm misremembering. Earthbound 3. Could be misremembering. You know how long it's been? Yeah, Game Boy Advance. You're right. Yeah. Sorry. See, to me, Game Boy Advance and SNES kind of blend together. Because they're basically both 16-bit systems, right? So like a lot of the memories I have of Game Boy Advance just remind me of Super Nintendo. And I don't think I'm alone on that. Like you go back and play Advance Wars on it, like it looks like a game I would have been playing on my Super Nintendo. And that was what was cool about it, was like, hey, we went from Game Boy, like an 8-bit kind of system, and then Game Boy Color, like playing like, you know, I don't know, NES games on the go basically, to hey, now we're playing like SNES games on the go. So that's why I get that confused. But thank you so much for the correction. As always. I haven't played Mother 3 because I didn't leave Japan. And I refuse to play it on emulator. I'm glad to see Nintendo succeeding. Hope for some big Switch games. Might not be able to buy a Pro, but Redbox Switch good enough. Yeah, dude, that's what I got. That's what I'm rocking. Redbox Switch right here. The Redbox Switch. Although I have a screen protector I got to put on here. That's just sitting here. I don't know why I haven't done it yet. But yeah, I see. Remember how I've said, hey, I'm giving away a pair of Skyward Sword Joy-Cons during E3, but I don't have a pair pre-ordered for me. Look at my Joy-Cons. The nubs are broken off. I need new Joy-Cons because my nubs are gone because my kids destroyed them. And I'm like, no, I will not buy new Joy-Cons until there's something I want. Well, I want the Skyward Sword ones. It is what it is. We're giving away a pair during E3. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up buying a pair for myself eventually. If they come back, if they do like a second run. I don't know if they're going to do a second run. That's why it's so cool we're giving away a pair during E3. GBA was like a second SNES. Yeah, man. Totally. What's up, BJ Holloman? Welcome, man. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope Twilight Princess Ocarina of Time comes to Switch this year. Twilight Princess, you mean Twilight Princess, Ocarina. I know, I'm not a grammar police. I'm sorry. I know what you meant. Those are your two favorite Zelda games. Twilight Princess HD, I think, is coming between now and March of next year for sure. The Wind Waker HD, because these games are on Wii U, are going to come from now to next year. Ocarina of Time, lots of rumors out there that that's what Grezzo is doing for Zelda's 35th anniversary. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's also a thought, hey, if that virtual console stuff happens this year, maybe they're just going to add it to virtual console. People might be like, what are you talking about? Should I watch the podcast yesterday? I plan to take some of the topics from that podcast and make separate videos. The podcast 3 hours, right? So I plan to separate some of that stuff out and make separate videos slowly. I'm not in any rush to get them out, even though I know, like, when I talk about the virtual console stuff, that's going to get a lot of views, you know? When I talk about the Switch Pro stuff, that's going to get a lot of views. But, you know, I'm not in any rush to get stuff out. You know, I get stuff out as I have time. Aiden Snoo says, I love Mario and Link as much as the next guy, but Nintendo needs to stop neglecting Wario, Yoshi, DK, Star Fox, and Bayonetta. You know what's cool about this? A lot of you guys, you know, aren't my regulars and may not even be aware that, like, no one's commented that I'm wearing glasses today. I thought for sure someone was going to be like, Nate, why are you wearing glasses? What's wrong? I mean, I had my contacts in for like a month straight because I'm savage like that and I like to break my eyes. So I finally took them out. So now I'm wearing glasses. I gotta let my eyes rest for probably at least another day, maybe 2. We'll see. I mean, knowing me, I'll put my contacts right back in tomorrow, but depends on how my eyes feel in the morning. The red goes away. There's not much red there now. I did take a nap with them out this morning just to let my eyes kind of, you know, get wet again. Yeah, I don't wear these glasses very often. Do I play Switch more docked or handheld? Very good question. So this is like a twofold thing for me. So I end up playing more docked than handheld, but that's because specifically what I do here at YouTube, right? When I'm playing games, I record footage. I don't know when I'm going to use the footage. I don't know if I'm going to use the footage, but I record footage. If I wasn't doing YouTube, I would definitely play it more in handheld. Like every time I have my Switch upstairs, I'm always in handheld. But if I'm down here in the studio, it's in the dock and I'm recording footage. Or I'm streaming for the rare times that I do game streams. So, you saw my Instagram post about it. Nice. Yeah, that's right. Nintendo Prime's on Instagram. It's legit. It's legit over there. We should get to 1,000 followers over there before E3 though. We're at 925. I'm gonna link it in the chat. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram, guys. One thing I noticed about Instagram again is that Instagram consistently gets more interactions than anywhere else, even YouTube. For the number of people that follow you compared to interactions, Instagram is legit. I now understand why so many celebrities use Instagram over all the other social medias, because Instagram is just way more interactive. So, go check that out. Have I talked more to Samus Hunter? I talked a little bit today. Because I was wondering about things not being announced today. And, you know, Samus Hunter was like, well, you know, look, and then linked me to her tweets and stuff and prior conversation where she said, hey, I never said that Nintendo was for sure announcing E3 stuff today. I just said it's either announced publicly or just internally. She wasn't sure which one. Anyways, Samus Hunter told me that she might be able to get some more information on the E3 plans from her source over the weekend. So I'm guessing weekends is when she communicates with her source. And then she mentioned, it's possible that, E3 announcing all those partners today, Nintendo hit pause and wants to organize their stuff around partners. It all depends on what's happening behind the scenes. But yeah, Samus Hunter didn't give me any new info today on any games or anything. She did mention on Twitter that there's some other stuff she knows about that she hasn't even told me. But she wants to wait until some of the stuff that she said, more of it comes true. And when more of the stuff comes true, then she'd be like, all right. Because, she doesn't want, after my podcast yesterday, I put so much stuff out there that she's like, okay, we need to hit pause. We need to hit T. Let's wait. Because she doesn't, what ends up happening is she doesn't want to be like other leakers. So what happens with most leakers is they put so much out there, right? They'll put 50 different rumors out there that, yeah, probably just based off being good at guessing, some of them are going to be right. So when you have so many rumors out there, they boast about the things they get right. They ignore the things that they get wrong. Sometimes they try to hide the things they get wrong by deleting tweets and all that stuff. And it leads to a situation where either the person's disingenuous or they're lying and trying to fake it and all this stuff. She said, look, I have so much stuff out there now thanks to your podcast last night that she's not mad at me about the podcast right away. She listened to the whole thing. She said that she wants to hit pause on more information until a lot of the batch of stuff that I talked about gets confirmed. Once it's confirmed, that just really, really adds to the credibility. Like, she already has a ton of stuff correct, but let's wait and get all this new batch of stuff correct. And when this stuff also ends up being correct, cool. Then she's ready to start dropping more batches, obviously until her source eventually gets caught. It happens every time. And I don't feel bad for the people that work at these companies that leak things out. I never feel bad when they get caught. Because bottom line is they know they're not supposed to leak information. They know they're not supposed to talk to people. They signed the NDAs. If they're going to break it, that's their problem. They're the ones putting themselves at risk. So that's why I don't feel bad about it. Also, the Nets lost today. Why that matters to me is the Milwaukee Bucks own the tiebreaker over the Nets. So if the Bucks win tomorrow over a crappy Houston team, the Bucks will officially be the number 2 seed. Kind of scary for the Nets. All right, we got a couple super chats up in here. Thank you guys so much for your super chats. We got Stare at Me, hit me with a cheers, $2 Canadian. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Are we gonna top 100? Did we top 100? Sweet. I like to top 100 live viewers on these streams, guys. We're building up to E3. We're gonna be streaming a ton leading up to E3. If you guys aren't already, set your notifications on our first E3 stream. Head down in the description, click the link to our pre-show for E3 2021, and set notifications because you're going to want to be there. You're not going to want to miss the giveaways. You're not going to want to miss the special guests. You're not going to want to miss the fun, the chance to beat Eric and I for prizes. And Eric and I punish each other because we just are gluttons for punishment. And obviously, all of the news. We're not going to miss a thing. Might even be getting in talks with another internet company right now. Might even have backup internet in my house just in case someone decides to cut my internet. It's not really cut the internet. You guys know how internet provider goes. Every now and then they're like, oh yeah, we're done. You've used too much internet, even though you have unlimited. Timothy Bryce with the $5 says, how do you think the Switch Potential Pro... Where is that? Pop it up. Where's the alert box? Where do I have the alert box at? Isn't it like right in the middle of my face? Anyways, how do you think the Switch... Is that... I feel like it's not showing up. Hold on. See, I did that manually. I did the repeat. It's not showing up. Let me... The alert box is supposed to pop up and cover my face. How did you think about the Switch Potential Pro would fare given the chip shortage and scalpers upon release and fall shipment? First off, whoops, there's nothing in there. I'm going to do a shot of air for you. Cheers, man. Yeah, that's a repeat super chat notification from me. So how do I think it's going to fare given the chip shortage? The chip shortage, I don't know that it's going to impact it much. Um, you could talk about scalpers. If we look at the launch of any device, you go back to the new 3DS, you go back to the 3DS launch itself, even Wii U was sold out. Reality is, pandemic or no pandemic, scalpers or no scalpers, the systems are sold out every single time at launch. It's going to happen. You don't get a pre-order in, you're not getting one. That's just the way it works with Nintendo, right? That's the way it works with all these companies. They're all, even Xbox One, as crappy of a showing as they had back in 2013, it was sold out for like 3 weeks. This is just what happens. It's not even about a chip shortage. It's that there's always enough early adopters to wipe out all the stock. That's just how it is. So, is it going to be extra hard this year? Well, yeah, the pandemic's still going on in some areas of the world, which I think clearly in some countries like India, definitely probably still going to be going on over there. But I'm just saying, if it's still a big thing and people are still at home a lot, still looking for at-home entertainment, so demand for it is still super stupid high, and it's probably going to release around a holiday period. And yeah, there'll be scalpers. There's scalpers every time. And yeah, Nintendo is kind of limited. Their forecast is 25.5 million Switches altogether. That could include the Pro as well in the next fiscal year. I mean, that's still a lot of units. I think Nintendo is anticipating demand to go down a little bit. I don't know that there's really going to be a problem. I don't think there's really going to be that big of a problem. Because Nintendo would have had these orders in for the chips, a year ago. So I don't really think it's going to be that big a deal. But yeah, it's going to be sold out, but it would have been sold out anyways. Hey, do you think Nintendo, who do you think, sorry. I always assume when people say arrogant, they mean Nintendo. Hey, Nintendo Prime, who do you think would get arrogant and fall from grace on the 10th generation, Sony or Microsoft? There always seems to be a history of that, right? Like, between Sony, and even Nintendo, like, between the three console makers, like, they seem to trade off every generation of, like, who's going to get cocky, who's going to get full of themselves, and who's going to actually be negatively impacted because of it. Right now, it definitely feels like Sony is in that position because, one, Sony was the market leader last gen. Sony is, selling out right now and beating Microsoft. Microsoft's building up a bunch of goodwill. So, if Sony just has like that one big thing that pisses people off enough, Microsoft can just swoop in and take the victory. Here's the thing. I don't think, I think Phil Spencer is just too humble to get that full of himself. They're not even giving out console sales anymore, right? Like, they don't even care. They don't make money off console sales. So they're not even giving console sales numbers out anymore. They're focused on their services and trying to make it a value and trying to expand their games and hoping that enough people eventually subscribe that it makes them money. Sony, on the other hand, knows, hey, we're the market leader. We're the market leader because people like our big AAA games. People like our systems. We're going to keep being cocky about it. I don't think anyone's actually going to be negatively impacted by that attitude. Like, think about it. There's been some calling for Jim Ryan to step down in the last 6 months, while PlayStation 5 is breaking records. Obviously, Jim Ryan's not stepping down. So the thing is, as much as the bad PR is there, it doesn't matter. Sony, we're at a point now, I think all three companies are basically too big to fail. And we just got a $15 tip. Thank you so much, Groove. Using the tip link down in the description. I have no problem if you guys want to use that the Streamlabs tip link, or if you rather the super chat, doesn't matter. All works. It all goes to the same bank account eventually. Over. Usually it's over under, but hey, we'll take it. I like the unique style. The next main Sonic game gets an 80. I'm at an under. Under. When it comes to Sonic, it's always best to keep expectations low and be happily surprised if you're wrong. So I am going to keep it at the under. That's just me. You don't have to be that way. Personally, I'm going to do that. And no, it's not hot sauce for $1. It's basically like a swig of beer, a shot of beer, not hot sauce. I thought about putting hot sauce on there because I do have various hot sauces in my house, like a lot of different ones. But I think I'm going to save the hot sauces for E3 as like punishments for some of the stuff that Eric and I have going on against each other. We'll have like an increasing hot shot chart. That like every loss, you start at the low end, you work your way up. shots of hot sauce. That is something that's being considered for E3. And Eric and I like hot sauce, but there is like a point of the hot sauce just being so hot, no flavor, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna keep my expectations low for all Sonic games and be happily surprised if I'm wrong. Because I've had expectations so high and been burned so much that I'd rather just expect an okay game and then be shocked if it's really good. As an example, my favorite Sonic game of all time is Sonic Lost World. I think it got so Metacritic ratings. I don't think that's actually over an 80. Maybe it is. I should probably look that up. Where is Metacritic Sonic Lost World? Metacritic Sonic Lost World. Yeah, 63, right? Just a shit rating, and it's my favorite Sonic game. So even if it's rated bad, doesn't mean I'm going to hate it, you know? Resident Evil Village sitting at a 84. Cool. All right, well, cheers to, what is it, Groove? Groove, thank you so much for the $15 and the shot of Yag. Oh, that's some legit stuff right there. All right. What if they made a Duck Hunt remake? Yeah. It's a Duck Hunt. Streamlabs wouldn't it be crazy if Nintendo? Look, why are you talking to Streamlabs? Streamlabs is just a bot that does my donations and stuff. The reason I haven't do the donation thing, even for super chats, is just in case an error happens. I want Streamlabs to kind of spit out, hey, look, if we got a donation, got a super chat, you know, do an extra notification for that. I could turn that off, but I like to keep it on. What did we talk about so far, Nintendo Prime? What haven't we talked about? You guys tell me, what haven't we talked about that you want to talk about? Who do you think would dominate the 10th generation? Are we in the 10th generation? I thought it was the 9th generation. Keeping in mind that generations are completely arbitrary and mean nothing. Gaming generation. No, not the store. God, I have a local store called Gaming Generation. List. Okay. Yeah. See, the media has it as we have 9 generations. That we just started the 9th generation. But again, I mean, generations are completely made up by the media and gamers anyways. Ace Gamer 3797 says, people will probably hate me for this, but my favorite Sonic game is Sonic 4 Episode 2. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, my favorite Zelda game of all time before Breath of the Wild was Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. People used to give me flack for that. And then they say, okay, fine. You know, maybe you're just one of those people. You just happen to really enjoy that game. Okay. But then I say, well, Ocarina of Time doesn't even make my top 10 Zelda games. Then they're like, oh my God, you're not, are you even a real gamer? Are you even a real gamer? Like, yeah. It just so happens that Ocarina of Time is absolutely fantastic. But I enjoy 10 other Zelda games more. Like, what's wrong with enjoying other Zelda games more than Ocarina of Time? What's the problem? I don't think it's a problem. You shouldn't think it's a problem either. Let's see here. Will Final Fantasy VII Remake ever finish? I hate their approach to breaking down. Yeah, they'll finish. I think they have this next part, and then I think they're probably going to have a part 3, and then that'll be the end, I think. Unless they're going to do a 4-parter. We got to kind of see where part 2 ends. I mean, maybe part 2 takes us to the end of the game, but we'll see. I don't like that they split it up either, but obviously they're splitting it up. They're getting lots of money along the way, and then they're going to re-release it again all together as one game, you know, again in like a decade. So they're just going to milk the hell out of it. Granted, I've heard it's really, really good. I do have Final Fantasy VII Remake downloaded on my PlayStation 5. Took advantage of it when it was on PlayStation Plus. I've never played Final Fantasy VII. I know, blasphemy. I plan to get to it. It's on my to-do list for the year. I will eventually play it on PlayStation 5 itself. So finally get to experience it because I do like RPGs. I do like JRPGs, action JRPGs especially. So I'm gonna get to it. Good Groove hits us with the $5. Man, we're getting a lot of tips today. Thank you guys so much for that. Groove says, there is a part of me that wishes. God, I gotta drag this over. Hold on. I have Streamlabs too far away for me to read. I'm gonna go like this because I was trying to keep the. See, I have a big. The thing is, I have this giant 49-inch wide monitor. There's no reason I can't have Streamlabs on the same monitor. I think it's because I was practicing an E3 setup where I was gonna have Streamlabs on this thing because that's closer to where our setup is, so I can read it easier if I need to. But that's neither here nor there. Groove says, there is a part of me that wishes they do. Let me see. Okay. I'm trying to read this in a way that makes more sense. There is a part of me that wishes they do Ocarina of Time remake as just the 3DS games with updated models. So what you're saying is HDing, doing what they did with Miitopia, right? They HD'd Miitopia. Granted, they added a lot more customization and stuff, and people went wild with that. But they HD'd the 3DS game. So what you're saying is you want them to HD Ocarina of Time, probably Majora's Mask, right? Yeah, and you bring this up. So you said, I wish that they would just basically HD the 3DS games with updated models, so there's a better chance for getting Majora. Yeah, I think that's the one thing. If they remake Ocarina of Time from the ground up, we're not getting Majora's Mask this year. Or next year. Because they're going to need time to remake that from the ground up. If they just HD the 3DS games, we get a much higher chance of getting both. It says, and I have so much emotion invested in the game, but Nintendo treats it like Galaxy 2. Really good game, but redundant. I like Galaxy 2. Galaxy 2 to me is better than Galaxy 1. It was my favorite Mario game until Odyssey came out. And that's tough because Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3 are also like smashing up there for like my top Mario games. Those are my top 4, by the way. Odyssey, and then Galaxy 2, and then I have Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3 smashing up against each other. Cheers, man. Thank you so much for the support. The Ultimate Slayer Manticore says, what I meant to ask you, do you think Sony could dominate with the PlayStation 6 in the next generation? Oh, you're talking about like, so when you asked that question before about cockiness, you meant, hey, like, is there any company that's going to sour gamers so much this generation that's going to flip or change things next gen? Here's the problem. We need to presume there's going to be a next gen. Now, I do think we're getting a PlayStation 6. PlayStation 4 sold over 100 million. PlayStation 5 is clearly going to sell over 100 million. It'll probably pass what PlayStation 4 did. So, PlayStation 5 is going to sell big. So, yeah, Sony's going to have a PlayStation 6. The question is Microsoft going to even have a next gen system? Or is it going to be all xCloud Game Pass and trying to put that on everything else? Because remember, Microsoft doesn't make money on their systems. Now, yes, for Microsoft, Xbox Series X and Series S are selling incredibly well. It's like the fastest selling Xboxes ever. It just so happens fastest selling Xboxes ever is still half or less than half as much as what Sony's doing. So I think there's just a lot of things to consider in here, a lot of metrics, and it's too early. Let's wait and see. Like, let's give it like 3 years, right? Let's give this current generation 3 years. We'll see what's happening with Nintendo and whatever they're doing with their next gen, and then let's see how things are sitting with gamers and the games and the systems in 3 years. So let's just wait. Right now, I'm happy with all the platforms. As much as I think PlayStation 5 isn't built to last, that doesn't matter. Right now, I don't have any problems, so I'm happy with it. I mean, both systems need more games. I mean, that's a criticism across the board for Xbox and PlayStation. PlayStation did just get Returnal, but then Returnal's not really my kind of game, like, because it just takes too long. It's too long you can't save whenever you want, so it's too long between saves. Then they have like an update that was like destroying people's save files and making them start over. There's just been some issues with Returnal. Like, almost like it might have been rushed to launch because Sony knows they don't have a ton of exclusive games on PlayStation 5, and that's supposed to be the differentiator from Xbox, is that we have exclusives. I'm not saying Returnal's a bad game. I'm just saying that they might have rushed it. A little buggy. Ace Gamer 3797 says, I got Final Fantasy VII Remake free with PlayStation Plus, so did I. I started making shitty YouTube videos on it. That's all right, man. We all got to start somewhere. Some of my earliest YouTube videos were really, really bad. Microsoft going all software subscription next gen. I mean, and I'm cool with that. I don't mind a Netflix like service. Game Pass. I think I like Game Pass. I wish all 3 platforms had a Game Pass like service. Because if they did, you know how much money I'd save Oh, yeah, I spent $60 on new Pokemon Snap the other day, or spend $60 and get new Pokemon Snap and a whole bunch of other games for 3 months. I think I'd rather do that. Imagine I get Miitopia and Mario Golf for that same $60. Seems like a pretty good deal to me. So I kind of wish everybody would do it. Not get rid of physical and get rid of individual game sales, but give the option for a subscription service. But I understand it's very difficult. Nintendo's not going to do it. They sell way too many copies of games right now for them to even consider doing games as a service, specifically to new games. Now, for their classic library, they're technically already doing games as a service. The NES and SNES apps are part of a subscription service. So they're technically already dabbling in games as a service. PlayStation is as well. PS Now. PS Now is a subscription service for classic PlayStation games. And it's a streaming service, I think, at that. So they're really going streaming and subscription. So, and Sony apparently is working on some sort of something to answer Game Pass. They don't plan to actually do exactly what Game Pass is doing, but I guess they partnered with Microsoft, and there's something going on. I don't think we're going to see it for a long time. But gyro aiming in Ocarina of Time 3D was great, though I prefer playing games on the big screen. It is sad that I still have... I got to play Ocarina of Time 3D on the big screen because this is like mega first world problems. I was running Zelda Informer back in those days, and I had one of those modded 3DSs that I paid $500 for from Japan. So I had a video out. So I was recording footage and able to play it on the big screen. It was pretty neat. Yeah, obviously a little pixelated because it's not like it up-reses it, but it was kind of neat. It reminded me of back in the day when you used to be able to like on the Super Nintendo, right? You have the Game Boy, the Super Game Boy. You could plug into it and then play all those games. They've had accessories like that over the years. It reminded me of those days when like you're blowing up these handheld games on TVs, and it's just not like it looks great, but also at the same time it doesn't. Like it's cool, but it's not cool. So that's how I experienced Ocarina of Time 3D the first time. I needed to record footage for videos and for a video walkthrough. You guys were like, we used to do walkthroughs? Yeah, back in the day, man. I wrote walkthroughs, I captured screenshots for walkthroughs, and I recorded videos for walkthroughs. I used to do a ton of Zelda walkthroughs. I don't really like Sony games at all. The last Zelda walkthrough I did was Triforce Heroes. That's the last one I was doing a walkthrough for. And Eric was helping me with that from the Prime. He was capturing screenshots while I was capturing footage. Why? I don't know. At the time, I was having an issue with my capture card, and I couldn't quite... for some reason, when I did screen grabs on it, it wasn't working very well. So he was actually using the 3DS's own screenshot feature. Which, is a little bit rudimentary. And he was using that, and that's how we were getting screenshots for the walkthrough. Pretty crazy, yeah. I can't even get a PS5 now, so I'm just switch PC this gen. Nothing wrong with that. I still got a Wii U and PS4 from last gen. That's good. That's good, sweet life. ASP Rel says, hello, Nintendo Prime. Sony sells their consoles at a loss as well, right? Yes and no. Right? Yes and no. They sell them at a loss, but they don't keep selling them at a loss, right? So, like, for the next year, I think they're sold at a loss, but then by the time we get to the next holiday, they'll probably be at a profit. Ray hit us with the $5. Any predictions you have that you haven't made known yet? Predictions? Oh, I've got predictions. I don't know that I've actually made... You guys remember the last time I even made a predictions video? I've been covering so many rumors and leaks and reports. When's the last time I just said, set all that shit aside? Here's what I think is going to happen. When's the last time I even did anything like that? I mean, yeah, I answer questions on live streams, but let's just say I have a video in the works. Slowly. I got some notes for it about my overall E3 predictions. We also got a $3 tip because Ray and Groove tipped at the same time. We got a $3 tip from Groove here, and he says, here's a pitch. We'll get back to some predictions. Ray, I'll give you a couple predictions after I read off Groove's donation here. He says, here's a pitch. A new Wario Land game where it's a platformer, but with RPG elements. Wario tries to pick up junk from enemies and sells it in a shop. Collector edition with just a ton of random Wario-related junk that Wario tries to pass off as a treasure. I mean, Wario would. That's total. You've nailed Wario's personality to a T. So, but yeah, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. As for predictions, I'll give you a couple. All right. Cheers. Unrelated to Samus Hunter, unrelated to all the leaks and rumors out there. These are just grand old predictions that I have. Let's go with Nintendo, because I know a lot of you guys watch me for Nintendo. But we could talk. I mean, we even talk about other systems here as well. People want to talk about Sony and Microsoft. We talk about that stuff too. I pay attention to everything. I own everything. I cover everything sparingly, right? I mostly cover Nintendo, but every now and then there's a Sony video and a Microsoft video. So whatever interests me that day. And obviously during E3, we react to everything. So predictions. I've kind of got two predictions that I'll throw out there for right now. One of them is about Zelda. I'm a big Zelda guy. I've always been a big Zelda guy since I was a kid. Okay? Link's Awakening was my first Zelda game. Ocarina of Time made me fall in love with the series. That's why when everyone makes fun of me, Ocarina of Time's not your time. Dude, Ocarina of Time is massively important to me. It's what made me fall in love with Zelda. So don't get me wrong. I got the nostalgia like everyone else does. It just so happens I enjoy 10 other Zelda games more than it. But here's my thing. For Zelda, I talked about before Breath of the Wild coming this year. That's not even a new prediction. Breath of the Wild 2 this year. And rumors are even sometimes pointing to that. Even saying, Breath of the Wild 2 will launch with Switch Pro. There's been people saying that. My prediction is that in this Zelda anniversary time, from now until the end of March 2022, everyone's talking Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Everyone's talking that we're getting the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD, which I clearly think we are. Right? We're getting Breath of the Wild 2 sometime in there. You know what I think we're getting? I think Grezzo. Forget Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask as much as you guys want it. And I agree, I want it too. I think Grezzo is actually making their own top-down Zelda game. Brand new Zelda game, top-down. And we're going to get Breath of the Wild 2 and a brand new top-down Zelda game in the next year. One of them will release in 2022. One of them will release this year. That's a prediction I've had in the back of my mind for a while. Nobody's talking about it. Everyone just assumes Grezzo's just making remakes. Grezzo's just doing remakes. They did Link's Awakening, Majora's Mask. Yeah, they also did Triforce Heroes. Grezzo has the capability to make top-down Zelda games. So imagine a new top-down Zelda game. And I think Grezzo is the team in charge of it. Yeah, there'll be a director from Nintendo, of course, and all that. So that's one prediction I got. Is it going to happen? There's literally no rumors. There's no leaks. There's nothing pointing to it. I mean, the big question these days is Nintendo going to make a new top-down Zelda game, or are they just going to keep remaking them? It's a fair question. There's no rumors. There's no reports. I have no information from anywhere else that this is happening. This is just me, maybe wishful thinking, combined with, hey, what if? Because nobody really knows what Grezzo is working on besides Miitopia. Nobody really knows. We're all just guessing. What if it really is? I mean, yes, there's rumors for Ocarina of Time. I'm just saying, what if it's a brand new top-down 2D Zelda game? Let's go. Nintendo Talk, how's it going? You with the damn check mark. Every time you come on, you have the damn check mark, and I'm like, how do I become YouTube official? What the fuck? I really don't care if I'm YouTube official, but it's funny when I see people with the check marks. It reminds me of the blue check marks on Twitter and how ridiculous it is, where they're like, oh, we got to confirm who you are, and how? It seems to be like a popularity contest on if you get confirmed. Anyways, just a side note. I always think the check marks are funny. It's not your fault, but another prediction I have. I originally was going to say Kid Icarus, but here's the problem. Sakurai kind of put out there, Kid Icarus is on the back burner at Nintendo. It's on the back burner. Getting Kid Icarus Uprising, getting, another Kid Icarus game, it's on the back burner. I think, and this might get you guys excited, there's no rumors on this. No report. No information from anywhere. Straight up prediction. I think in 2022, maybe even 2021, depending, but I think in 2022, we're getting a new F-Zero game. Now, let me explain why. Because obviously F-Zero wasn't selling the greatest, and they decided, hey, we're not going to do F-Zero anymore. Mario Kart's the thing blowing up. All our racing efforts go to Mario Kart. All right, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold 10 million units last year. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is probably going to sell another 10 million units this year, right? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just keeps selling. The sales don't go down. It just keeps spitting out 10 million a year. No problem. Easy peasy. 10 mil every year. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, my theory is we're not going to get a Mario Kart 9. We will get a Mario Kart 9 as a launch game for next gen. That I think is going to happen. It'll be like a launch game. Okay? Instead of, because we're getting Breath of the Wild 2 now, Mario Kart 9 will be like the big launch game. That and like one other title. I don't know what it's going to be. Probably a Kirby game will be a launch game for the next system. We're getting Splatoon 3 right now. So that's clearly not going to be a launch game for the next system. So, my theory is, okay, fine. They're not going to make another Mario Kart game for this gen because, hello, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just keeps going crazy. So, instead, they're going to make an F-Zero. Perfect time to make an F-Zero. It doesn't hurt sales of Mario Kart, and it's another racing game. They could go with some unique ideas with it, bring back the Death Wheel and other things, and they could, perfect time to bring back F-Zero because it's not going to hurt Mario Kart to do it. It's not going to hurt Mario Kart. For right now, they have a unique opportunity where they could skip a generation of releasing a brand new Mario Kart. Technically, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. I realize that's a new Mario Kart game. You know what I mean? A more traditional one, right? They could skip a generation because the old one's doing so well and give us an F-Zero. And just see what happens sometime in the next 2 years. F-Zero coming back. Don't know who's making it. Maybe it is the Mario Kart team making it. F-Zero. Captain Falcon coming back. Falcon Punch. We got Magical Korok worried about my health. Don't worry, man. Hey, don't ruin your liver with all this alcohol. So I've only done one real shot tonight. The $15 for the egg. Otherwise, look, this is how much of a beer I've had. Can you see the level? Because most of the donations are for that, and then there's been some seltzer as well. Both of these are 5% alcohol. I'm not stupid, guys. Do I do hardcore shots? Do I get buzzed sometimes? Yes. I cut myself off when I've had too much. I hydrate very, very well. I allow myself time to recover. I'm all good. We got a $1 Groove donation in that says, why does Star Wars have so many great games? Fallen Order, Battlefront 2, ignoring the monetization at launch. It's so fun. Squadrons, Aspire ports, while Marvel really only has Ultimate Alliance and Spider-Man. Are we like, and then he mentions a God of War type Thor game is a no-brainer. Are we just ignoring the Avengers game? It's still a thing. They're still doing updates to that. The Avengers game is still very much a thing. So let's not ignore that. Marvel is obviously focused on the cinematic universe right now. That's kind of their big focus. Hey, we're leaving one of the most successful phases, the most successful phase in comic book movie show history, right? Most successful phase ever. And now, how do we recapture that success in a new phase when we don't have Captain America, the original Captain America? We don't have Iron Man now, right? We don't have Tony Stark. So, like, the two main people that helped make the first phase so successful, we don't have them. Even Thor, they're trying to, like, phase out Thor potentially as well. Chris Hemsworth, they're trying to phase him out as well. He's still going to be part of this new phase, but maybe a minor part, right? Like, they're trying to make him not as important. So, it's going to be interesting to see what they're doing with that. And I think that's where Marvel's focused. Now, they clearly have game. Nintendo paid for Ultimate Alliance 3 to happen. Obviously, there's been other games as well. So I think a Thor God of War game makes sense. I also don't think it's going to happen. I think Avengers was kind of such a minor. I'm going to say minor flop. I think it's probably overall made money, but I think it wasn't the success it should have been, and because of that, they're not going to be making it anymore. But cheers, man. Thank you so much for the $1. Dark-sided. Ace Gamer, I'm not going to show that comment just because we don't call people names, okay? I don't think I brought up Dark-sided, did I? Or Darkseid from DC. Yeah, I'm not going to show that comment because we don't name call. That's a big thing our mods have to watch during E3 is name calling. We do not accept name calling at this channel. Even if people are being stupid. We don't name call. Diddy Kong Racing was better than Mario Kart. So sad they never got sequels. I mean, that's another thing. But those are my 2 predictions. F-Zero and a 2D Zelda game. Or I shouldn't say 2D. Top-down Zelda game is more correct to say. Hasn't really been 2D in a long time. You're trying to help your dad quit smoking? Good luck. It's hard. Man, it's hard to quit smoking. My fiance smokes. She's tried quitting a few times. It's hard. It's just a hard thing to do. Eli's like, man, I make the night shift jobs easy. And I'm like, that's because you're freaking awesome. Oh, and she sent me, I really like the new Ford trucks. Yeah, they don't even hurt when they hit you. They just crumple like a beer can. That's wow. That's one of those Ford versus Chevy memes. What's my favorite top-down Zelda? So you got me there because Zelda 2 has top-down elements, but you know the majority of the actual action happens in side-scrolling. It's clearly Zelda 2, right? Favorite top-down? Probably Link's Awakening. I think it's been Link's Awakening forever. Some of it's nostalgia. Some of it is just, it's a really damn good game. As a lot of people found out in 2019. Link's Awakening is just a really damn good game. So, I'm going to go with Link's Awakening. I hope you can do it. Smoking is expensive and terrible. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's expensive. That's obviously been an issue for the decade we've been together. It's expensive. And yeah, it's not good. You know, I worry that, you know, she's 30. She doesn't have adverse effects yet, but I'm like, it's one of those, it's only a matter of time, right? So I'm hoping that I can get her to quit. She wants to quit. So that's it. At least she knows it's a problem and she wants to quit. That's the most important step. Recognizing it's a problem and then wanting to do something about it. After that, there's a lot of willpower. It's one of the weaknesses of her. I love my fiance, but one of the biggest weaknesses she has is willpower. But I'm going to try my best to get her through it. I think it's going to probably get better. I think we have to wait till she graduates college and our kids are a little bit older because then the stress levels will go down a bit. And when the stress levels go down, because you go to your vices when you're stressed. So when the stress levels go down, I think I'll have a lot easier time getting her to quit. But I don't judge her for it. We all have our vices and our problems. I got super fat, right? So obviously I have a problem with food. Food's my vice. So I get it. Everyone's got vices. I'm not as fat. Believe it or not, I'm not as fat as I used to be. I've been losing weight over the last year. Got to keep going, though. Got to keep going. There's been hiccups along the way, but I'm not... Yeah, I'm never going to be as big as I was before because I refuse. Spirit Tracks is amazing. Oh, dude, Spirit Tracks is great. Later, stare at me. How's your life going? My life's going fine. I'm doing well in college. Kids are doing pretty good. Donuts. What are we? Homer up in here? Ace Gamer said, I want to see a Zelda game where Ganon tries to fuck with time and bring past versions of himself and other villains from across the timeline, but also brings... That would be kind of cool, right? Where like Ganon is like, yeah, you know what? I'm all powerful. You're not the only one that can time travel, Link. I'm gonna take care of business, and you just face off against all of them at once. Would that be crazy? Isn't that some Dark Souls shit right there? I didn't have a choice to quit smoking. Stupid shit happened. Yeah. Happens. Did somebody say Spirit Tracks? Spirit Tracks, man. Spirit Tracks is legit. Spirit Tracks is legit as hell, man. Cheers to Spirit Tracks. So this is just a Dr. Pepper. 0. Hey, first time in chat. And I was wondering if you have heard of a game called Rhythm Heaven. All right, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that you would think a Nintendo-based channel doesn't know about Rhythm Heaven. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because you don't know me, right? But yes, I obviously know about Rhythm Heaven. I mean, even if it's not a game I've really played much, you can't be a Nintendo fan your whole life and not be aware of some of the games that come out, even if you don't play them. But yes, I know about Rhythm Heaven, and I actually have played it. One of the games. Hasn't there been... How many games have there been in that series? I don't remember. I think there's been 2 or 3. Also, do you think there will be a game for Switch eventually? No, I don't think there'll be a game for Switch. Cheers to Spirit Tracks, yeah. Spirit Tracks is great. Rhythm Heaven on Wii was lit. I think I played it on DS. Let me look. I'll figure out which one I played. Rhythm Heaven. Let's see here. 2008 was the first one. Yeah, I played the original Rhythm Heaven on DS. I got some blood work done recently, and the results came back and said my blood sugar is high, so I got to go on a low-carb diet. And I'm kind of fat. I got big boobs. And the girls at school. I don't have bigger tatas. I am not. What's up? What is that terminology? They say Tits McGee. Tits McGee. I am not Tits McGee in this house. Part of that's because my fiance's got some big bazongas, but that's besides the point. Mine aren't really that big. So my stomach though, I had a hernia, so I have like an extra. It's funny. I got the hernia fixed, but they didn't take out the hard fat that protects your organs. Some of that came out during my hernia. So when they fixed the hernia, they didn't take out that hard fat. So I got like half of my stomach here. Like when you guys see me go to the side, like I'll stand up and go sideways. See, like you see this? Let me get in frame. Chair, you gotta move a bit. Let me get in frame. You see this part right here? All of this is hard fat that's not supposed to be there. It's not fat I can lose through exercise or dieting. It is fat that the surgeon left in me. It sucks because it makes me almost twice as big as I really am. But once I get a lot of the rest of the fat off and I get closer to having a flatter stomach, I'm going to be getting surgery to get it removed. So later, Ace Gamer. I know you talked a bit about Virtual Console. Yes, I did. But what are the odds we get a GameCube stuff on there as well eventually? The odds we get GameCube. Eventually, someday, I'd probably put it at 50-50. Sounds painful. It can be. Whenever I'm working out a lot and I'm doing like crunches, or even sit-ups where, my stomach might hit the ground or that part of my stomach hits the ground. It's supposed to. If you're doing a proper push-up, it's going to hit the ground. After a while, it does hurt. It sucks. And that's one reason why I'm hoping my insurance will cover it. Because right now they won't because they're claiming, oh, it's a cosmetic. No, I had a fucking hernia. How is that a cosmetic surgery? They didn't take care of it the first time. They should have took care of it the first time. Not cosmetic. It actually hurts. It affects my life. It affects my mentality by making me look fatter than I really am. It's dumb. But probably will be able, once I lose enough weight, it'll probably get taken care of. I'm presuming my insurance will cover it. It's going to suck because it's going to look ugly as hell. It's going to look like I have like a growth, like I have cancer or something. I could take some of the fat I lost on my weight to 175. Go ahead, take it. What's up, Nathaniel? Like the new setup, brother. Thank you so much, Adam Wendroff. Thank you so much. I gained a lot of arm and leg muscle. Oh, nice. I'm trying to get back into Ring Fit and do Ring Fit a lot more. Trying to make it a daily routine. It's been a bit rough because I have a super busy schedule. But, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I believe in me. That's what it really is. I believe in me. Who's your favorite Milwaukee Brewer? I mean, Christian Yelich. Sucks that he keeps getting hurt. I hope it's not going to be a consistent problem. He's too young. He's too young to be having this back problem. It makes me wonder if he's been doing PEDs because that can lead to problems like back problems more often. So I've been wondering if he's a PED user. To be fair, I just assume every professional athlete's a PED user, so I'm not trying to knock him for it. But he's just too like he's not like when Braun started having his back problems. One, we know he factually used PEDs. Two, he was in his 30s, right? Like, okay, for some people, you're just gonna have a creaky back in your 30s. He's having it in his 20s. I'm a little worried, but I mean, how could I not be loving the 2-time NL MVP? Cheers, man. Dude, I'm going to get canceled? Why would I get canceled? Because I said I'm going to look like I have a growth? I don't know why that would cancel me, just because people factually have growths and have cancer. I'm not making fun of people who have cancer. It's like a real thing. You completed Ring Fit? You 100% completed Ring Fit? Damn. Congrats, man. I don't really care about cancel culture anyways. I'm one of those people that I'm unapologetically myself. You know? I don't feel like I need to apologize for who I am. I like who I am. So anyone who works with an education, it's tough. So I work a full-time job. It's one that because of the pandemic, I work from home. So that's what enables me to keep doing YouTube is because I'm already at home. So when I have a break or I have some spare time, I can get a video out. Two, I have 3 kids, so I'm a full-time parent. My fiance works full-time outside of the home as a caregiver. Can't really talk much about it. A bunch of confidentiality agreements with her, but she's a caregiver. So she works outside the home for 40 hours a week, and she works 4 to midnight, which is why I can do these streams. Her shift used to be different, but now she works 4 to midnight. So that's why I'm doing streams at night. In addition to all of that, I'm in college full-time college, getting a programming degree. Very busy schedule. My schedule is insane. But I'm doing all of it, I think, reasonably well. I think YouTube's going well. I think my job's going well. I think college is going well. I mean, I know college is going well. I see my grades. And things are going well with my relationship. Like, that's the one thing I was worried about is Yulia and I just kind of fixed everything that was wrong with our relationship over the years. And I was worried with her working full-time and me so busy that our relationship might go down the toilet a little bit. And it hasn't. In fact, it's just gotten stronger. We have each other's back even more than we ever have before. That's awesome. Like, why am I blowing things out so big at E3? She's a huge reason. She wanted me to. She encouraged me to. So I'm doing it. Let's get it done. E3 is going to be great. I hope every single person in the chat, we get 100 now. We've hit 100 again. We have 100 people watching. I hope every single one of you win something this E3. Because I have more prizes for E3 to give away than the amount of people watching this stream today. We had a $1 donation come in from Groove, and he says, so which do you think will sell better, and which do you think would be more critically praised? An original top-down 2D Zelda, a la Link's Awakening remake, but obviously an original game, or a remake of the 2 Oracle games at $40 a piece. A brand new game. I don't think the Oracle games are popular enough. Now, if you want to argue about, an HD version of Ocarina of Time versus a 2D top-down game, Ocarina of Time is going to sell more. The Oracle games, I don't think are popular enough to really, even at $40. Even at $40, I don't think they're popular enough. But cheers, though, man. I appreciate it. You've been doing a lot of little donations tonight. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Let me see here. Our relationship is. I mean, we've had up and down. We've been together 10 years. We have 3 kids. There's been rough patches from both sides. We both have made mistakes. But we're stronger now than we've ever been. So, and tentatively, we're getting married in 2022. I'm saying tentatively. We've talked about it before, but this time it seems a lot more serious than other times. We actually agree. That's for starters. But we'll worry about that once we got to get out of this pandemic. My sister gets married this June. So that obviously has her with wedding fever because we're both in the wedding. But yeah, we're kind of trying to let the pandemic get by, and then we'll see where the world is sitting and where we're sitting. And obviously, I graduate college next year. So there's a lot of big things happening next year, but hopefully we can squeeze it in. Splatoon is on the same level as Zelda. Facts. Splatoon was actually on a higher level than Zelda. Facts. Until Breath of the Wild. Until Breath of the Wild happened. But Splatoon 3 is up there. Splatoon in general is clearly now a tentpole franchise for Nintendo. So the tentpole franchises, you have Pokemon, that's been a tentpole forever. Mario, Animal Crossing is now tentpole, clearly. I think it was clearly tentpole after New Leaf, but definitely after New Horizons, right? So that's a tentpole one. And then on top of that, obviously Splatoon is up there now too. And I'm trying to think of like Mario Kart, but like I kind of wrap all the Mario games that have Mario in their name under the Mario banner. So yeah, Mario Kart is clearly like its own thing now, but it's also still a Mario, right? So, those are the kind of the 4 tentpole IPs. And Nintendo wants to expand upon that. Shintaro Furukawa talked about that, not this investors meeting, but the prior one, where he said, hey, we're going to make updates to currently existing games. Oh, and by the way, hey, we really care about new IPs because they want to get the next Splatoon, the next Animal Crossing. They want to keep adding it so they have like 10 tentpole IPs. They have a lot of staple. You notice I didn't say Metroid is. They keep making Metroid. Metroid's not a big seller. Tentpole IPs are the ones that no matter what Nintendo does, they're going to sell a crap load of them. So, we'll see what happens. Groove with another $1. So let's make it interesting. Original, man, he's really hit me with these Zelda questions. Original 2D Zelda versus Minish Cap remake. Minish Cap is fondly loved. 22-year-old, so it hit the perfect time. And it's getting up. So you're 22, and it hit the perfect time for you. I'm still going to go with an original. It's pretty hard for me to say an original game, an original top-down game will ever be outsold by a remake of an old game. An old top-down game. A remake of an old, home console 3D Zelda, sure, because 3D Zelda has always been more popular than top-down. But I honestly think an original top-down Zelda will always outsell old ones. Just my humble opinion. So you don't have to keep donating to ask the same question and swapping out the 2D games, because I think it'll always outsell any of them. Cheers, though. Let's see here. Are the notification? Is the alert box working? I'm gonna refresh this thing. I want to see if the alert box is working. It's not. Why is the alert box not working? It's so dumb. Maybe I need to delete it and re-add it. See if I can make this work. I hate when this happens sometimes. You figure everything would just work, but can I not delete it? Probably not, because no, I can. Yes, remove the alert box. And let's re-added it. I don't know why. I know the blue box is working, but there's supposed to be an alert box. I guess add a new one. Let's make an alert box 2. I don't care. Let's just have it work. Let's turn everything on. I know I'm not going to have any of the custom. No. Well, I'm not going to have any of the custom ones, but I just wanted to pop up. I usually have custom Nintendo things, but it's okay. I just wanted to pop up. So we'll try a new alert box and see if that makes a difference. I fell out of Smash series after playing Wii U. 3DS had better stages. Okay. Smash. Duh. Sorry. When I meant why I left Smash off. I'm not a big Smash guy. But yeah, Smash is at number 5. Smash is a tentpole. Thank you so much for bringing up Smash. Clearly, tentpole for 20 million. It sells big every generation. Smash has always been tentpole. Always been since the N64. From inception, it's been a tentpole franchise. How excited was I when Splatoon 3 got revealed? I was shocked more than I'm excited, but also really, I thought at first it was like DLC, and then I saw what was happening, and then I remembered how the final Splatfest that mattered, ended in Splatoon 2, and I'm like, wait a second, this looks like dude, it looks so good. It legitimately looks like it's a whole new generation of Splatoon. And I can't wait. I'm so excited for Splatoon 3. People will remember, some of the OGs on this channel will remember, I played a shitload of Splatoon 2 back in the day. I mean, how many live streams? Did we do hundreds? Hundreds of live streams of Splatoon 2? I love that game. I love Splatoon, man. And we'll probably do a bunch of streams of Splatoon 3 on this channel. Because I really like Splatoon a lot. Your stream keeps crashing on me? Oh, yeah, your app is crashing. Yeah, I know that happens sometimes. There's a project for your college. Fix bugs in the alert box code. Right? I'm not a Smash fan. I like Smash Bros. I've owned it every single generation. I'm not a fighting game fan. I'm just not into fighting games. But I do play Smash. I'm just not like, oh my god, I'm gonna spend hundreds of hours playing this game. No, I'll spend like 20. I'm good. So when I say you guys can go 1-on-1 against me, guess what? It's actually, you should be thankful. Be thankful I'm not a big Smash player. You want to know why? Because this E3, some of you guys, some of you fortunate few, will get to go 1-on-1 against me in Smash for prizes. For prizes. I'm not going to tell you what the rules are yet, because the rules are going to be set to what I like, right? To my benefit. But I'm not very good at Smash. And so I have to kind of give myself every advantage I can. But just wait. Just wait. I'm not very good, but I'm practicing right now. I'm practicing. I'm not going to say who my main is, because I've talked about it before. My main might be changing for E3. So, not going to talk about it. I'm practicing. Trying to get halfway decent so I don't embarrass myself out there. What is a kind of big Switch game you consider to be underrated? For me, Starlink. Immortals Phoenix Rising. I don't think enough people are playing that game. You just feel like Splatoon 2 was a Wii U game transferred to Switch. Splatoon 3 seems to be made for Switch. Maybe. I have no idea. But I don't like the argument. Okay. So I'm fine if you want to say Splatoon 2 was a Wii U game. Fine. I mean, I think any game that came out in the first year of Switch was originally being made for Wii U. I think that's just a fact. Here's my thing, though. My problem when people say that about Splatoon 2 is a lot of people use it to then infer Splatoon 2 isn't a true new Splatoon game. It's just like Splatoon 1.5. Like it's like DLC. It's not. Splatoon 2 is not the same as Splatoon 1. And there's tons of content. But we're not going down that road. I'm not saying you were saying that, but a lot of people when they say Splatoon 2 is a Wii U game, what they're trying to argue is that Splatoon 2 is just Splatoon 1. And I don't like that. I don't think that's true at all. But that's not what you were saying. It does feel, now that we've seen Splatoon 3, it does kind of feel like, yeah, they clearly made that on Wii U and ported it to the Switch. Trying to practice with Steve and get real good. I thought Splatoon 3 was set in the same universe, but an open world RPG in the vein of Borderlands. No. Not going to use Link. I'm not telling you guys who I'm using. Find out during E3. I love the Sardine Run. It slaps, but I'm not really good at Turf War. So Makoto Ikari has an interesting comment. I want to bring this up because we haven't had that many open world Zeldas when you think about it, right? So Makoto Ikari says, "I just can't muster any hype for another open world Zelda." And my question to you is why? Is it because of the other open world games in the market? Because factually, Zelda doesn't have that many open world Zelda games, right? You got the original Zelda, arguably Zelda 2, although Zelda 2 is much more linear than Zelda 1. So sure, we'll throw Zelda 2 in because you can kind of sort of go where you want. Link to the Past, sort of, because you can't even do half the game, whatever. So Link to the Past, right? A Link Between Worlds. And then Breath of the Wild. And there's been almost 20 Zelda games. So that's actually not that many. And it's the only 3D open world Zelda game. Ocarina of Time is not open world. Majora's Mask is not really open world. None of these games are really open world. They fake you out. Twilight Princess fakes you out, but it's not. It's not an open world. Yeah, $3 tip. Who was that person? Kato Akari. They haven't said anything yet. So I'm gonna move on to that tip quick. We got Jay Sarge hitting us with a $3 tip. He says, "Ain't much, but I wanted to show support. Can't wait for the E3 show. Take a shot for us, my boy. No problem. I got you, man. Shot of beer coming up. We haven't even finished one beer yet. See, haven't even finished one beer yet. We're doing all good over here. Cheers, man. Miller Lite. Hey, Nate, how you doing, man? Dude, I'm doing great, D-Dub. How you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a long time. There we go. Mikado Akari says, I just never been into open world or open air. Yeah, didn't Nintendo call it open air? It's like, okay, it's open world. Come on. You just never been into it. So you didn't like Breath of the Wild. I'm guessing you didn't like it because you said you're not into that kind of game. I understand. Open world's not for everyone. Now, is it for more people than linear is? Yes. But it's not for everyone. It's for me, though. So, you're not going to find me not getting hyped. You're not going to find me not getting hyped for Breath of the Wild 2. I almost had a freaking heart attack when they announced Breath of the Wild 2 on live stream. That's how excited I got. How shocked I was. It was almost the same shock as when they revealed Twilight Princess back in 2004? No, wasn't that E3 2004 when they dropped Twilight Princess a year after the Wind Waker came out? Not even. It was like 6 months. Like, the Wind Waker was out for like 6 months. Oh, by the way, here's a new Zelda game. That's exactly what that Space World 2000 demo was. Have a good day. And it's like, what is happening? And I haven't been that shocked by a Zelda reveal until Breath of the Wild, because I didn't expect it. 2 years? I mean, this is even longer, and I still didn't expect it. DLC just wrapped up, end of 2017. I didn't think we were going to get anything, a sequel to Zelda anytime soon, which, by the way, we didn't get a sequel to Zelda Breath of the Wild anytime soon because we're in 2021 and it's still not here. But I didn't think we were getting an announcement anytime soon. So I was totally caught off guard. And there was like no leaks at the time. There was because Nintendo is so protective of Zelda, there was no leaks that we were getting Breath of the Wild 2 at E3. None. Not even a whisper. It was so good. 2004, dang, I feel old. Dude, you feel old. I'm old as shit. I am so old. I'm so pissed. I had a PlayStation 5 in my Best Buy cart, and it wouldn't let me purchase the dang thing. Josh Coleman, go watch Jake Randall's videos. He's done a video for every retailer on how to successfully purchase from those retailers. You're going to want to watch them before the drops happen, because there's I thought it was bullshit. Like, oh, who's making tips and tricks on how to get PlayStation 5? Right? Like, who cares? Who's really doing that? Turns out it's actually really legit. I was able to get my PlayStation 5 from Target because of his video on Target explaining to me how to deal with those cart situations and it not letting you purchase. It's a very common problem, but it doesn't mean you can't get one. Go watch the videos. He has gone through, probably because he's successfully purchased from all of these retailers and then given some of them away. I'm just saying, go watch Jake Randall's video. I can't suggest him enough. He's just a genuinely nice guy. He suffers from cystic fibrosis. I'm so glad to see him blow up. That's the one nice thing to come out of all these shortages, is it led to Jake Randall's YouTube channel exploding. And he's just the nicest guy. He really is. He deserves the success he's having right now. We got a $1 tip come in. We got Groove again. Man, Groove. Just keep it coming, right? I challenge you, Nate. Do you smell what Groove is cooking up? What are you, The Rock? Do you smell? I can't do it. I'm not even going to try anymore. I'm going to use Cloud and create a soundtrack to a beatdown. All love. They offered me a position at the place I have been interning at for a year. Congrats, man. Dude, isn't it great when those internships turn into like a real full-time position? It doesn't happen very often. Like that's what like the business world doesn't want to tell you, is that internships often just don't turn into real jobs. But dude, congrats, and you're a bit tipsy. That's all right. Just don't empty your bank account too much. I mean, you can keep donating if you want. I'm just saying, don't wake up in the morning with regrets that you gave too much money to me tonight. But hey, man, congrats, dude. I'm glad that you were able to turn your internship into a job. I know I'm going to have an internship coming out of college in programming, and I'm really hoping I can turn it into a job. It's hard to get a job out of college as a programmer because they all want 2-3 years experience, but you can get internships. Sometimes they're unpaid internships, which really sucks, but you got to do them to get the paid ones. Cheers, man. A lot of people are playing Resident Evil 8 tonight. Came out, so. Lots of people are playing Resident Evil 8. I think it was the #1 game streamed on Twitch for a little while today. Now, granted, it was a bunch of creators streaming it because technically it's not supposed to release until midnight, but, you know, people have their ways. Logic Bugs, welcome to the stream. You have a friend who has cystic fibrosis. It sucks. Yeah, man, dude. The cystic fibrosis is no joke. So I'm really glad that he's successful. He's way more successful than I am. Like, literally, over the last 6 months, he has had more views, more everything happening to him than I have had in 4 years of doing this. And that's fine, man. He deserves it. Legitimately, I am happy. That's one thing I like. Not all YouTubers are this way, by the way, but some YouTubers are just happy to see anyone be successful. Game Over Jesse is just happy when anybody is successful. Like, we don't have to compete. I understand, like, with game consoles, we do compete, right? I compete with Player Essence and RGT85 and Dreamcast Guy and Spawnwave and Switch Force and Game Explain. Like, we're all competing for your time, right? Everyone only has a finite amount of time. This E3, right? All of us creators are live stream reacting. We're all competing for you to come to our stream and watch us react. Which, by the way, you should absolutely choose Nintendo Prime Stream because we're giving away over $3,500 worth of stuff. 345 plus winners. Let's go. Some crazy stuff we're giving away. You see those Poe Sisters over there? I'm giving away the whole collection of those Poe Sister art. We're giving away a 2016 Breath of the Wild coin. We're giving away a Switch. We're giving away Pro Controllers. We're giving away several copies of games. Hundreds of copies of games. We're giving away $50, $20, $100 eShop gift cards. Well, $99 because that's just the way Nintendo is. We're giving away special officially licensed Zelda hoodies that are no longer in production. Brand new. Never been worn. Well, one's been worn once. I wore it for a video, but has a tag on. Hasn't been worn since. We're giving away a ton of stuff. Bunch of collectibles. You know? Because I want to give back. But also, obviously, like, we're all competing for your time during E3. And I'm totally cool if you want to dip out for your favorite creator. Maybe, here's the thing. I might not be your guys' favorite creator. Your favorite creator might be somebody else. And you want to watch their reactions. Go. I encourage you. Go for it. But, maybe when they're done, come watch us. We're going to be streaming for like 12 hours straight. Groove is donating another $1. Says, I know people are hating on The Last of Us Remake. Oh, yeah, because they're remaking after it was remastered. I love that. Alongside with Skyrim, Tomb Raider, GTA 5 is a great game that keeps getting released. Side note, I need someone to believe in me as much as Square believes in Lara Croft. Dude, Lara Croft has been getting lots of attention. I love it. She was dead in the water for a long time, and then, bam, came back. It's great. And the games are all really good. So, yep. I don't mind. Here's the thing. The Last of Us Remake might not even come for 3 years. And at that point, what has it been? Basically a decade since the remaster? All right, I'm cool with it then. Like, why do we have to put an arbitrary timetable on like when games can be remade? Games take forever. Can't wait. Can the Canadians win? Win what, Nick P? Are we talking hockey or something? I'm not a big hockey guy, so I don't follow hockey. My friend from a few feet away thought I was watching a Mr. Beast video since he sounded a bit like him. Is it because we're giving away $3,500 worth of stuff during E3? You need to come watch our stream right now. June 12th to June 15th. The giveaways, the partners, we're going crazy up in here. You're going to want to be here or be square. I don't know. Thanks for subscribing, MT Williams. Is it because of the giveaways? Because Mr. Beast is always giving away stuff. Some controversy with Mr. Beast right now. I don't know how much that controversy is really legit, but I'm not the people. I'm not the people making the accusation, so. And nothing like super bad, more so that he's really hard to work with and really demanding and maybe sometimes uses language that he shouldn't use. It's nothing like, he actually, did anything super bad. To me, it kind of sounds like maybe some like younger kids that like the things I've heard against Mr. Beast. I'm like, man, that was me growing up. Like people would say that shit to me. It's not like I sat there and made a big deal out of it. Oh no, people expect me to do things the way they want them to do them. Well, they're the boss. And sometimes they're going to be dicks. And sometimes they're going to use foul language. Okay, that's what I grew up with. Like I personally don't find it to be that big a deal. But we're living in an age now where everything's a big deal. You have to be perfect. And if you're not perfect, you're a shit human being. And I just think that's just dumb. Nobody's perfect. Guess what? Oh my God, Mr. Beast isn't a perfect angel. He uses foul language and he has high expectations and he's very demanding. He should be. He's like the number one. He's the number one most watched creator on YouTube. Of course he's freaking demanding. And yeah, he grew up using foul language, so he still uses foul language. Okay. That doesn't make him a piece of shit, That doesn't make him a piece of shit. It just, he's a human. I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal. I use foul language. I mean, I used to use, so the accusation was that he was using the R word. I don't use that word anymore, but when I was younger, when I was Mr. Beast's age, I absolutely used it. So, Jin Shirky has to leave. He says, I gotta bounce, support my cousin. I know who your cousin is. I wish I had my stream set up to show his stream while I'm streaming. His cousin's probably playing Apex, I'm guessing. Because his cousin always plays Apex. Always. Big Apex guy. It's not... Okay, so what happens is... One of the accusations against Mr. Beast was basically that... this guy that was doing editing for him from 2018 to 2019, which, by the way, puts Mr. Beast at, 20 years old or something, stupidly young. Mr. Beast is not that old, guys. Okay? I think he's, in his mid-20s now? I can't remember. How old is Mr. Beast? Let me make sure we get this right, because context matters. How old is Jimmy? Crap, what's his last name? I'll just type Mr. Beast. I don't know why I'm forgetting his last name. He's 23, right? So you zoom back 3 years. The guy's 20 years old. So I nailed that on the head, right? So he's 20, just fresh out of high school, right? Been out of high school maybe a year, maybe 2 at most. And the thing is, so back then he had this editor who was 17 at the time or something, who was working for him. And the editor basically said that Jimmy would be very demanding. He would do an edit and Jimmy would be like, you effing, R word. That's not what I told you to do. Get back in there and edit it the way I told you to edit it. Which sounds to me like, one, Jimmy's very demanding. Jimmy's a perfectionist. He knows how videos need to look, what videos need to say, and he's paying you for it. So to me, it sounds like what happened is the person got offended that Jimmy was using foul language in telling him that he wasn't doing what Jimmy paid him to do. So it's like a boss who's just yelling at you with foul language because you didn't do what the boss said. Or you didn't do it to his satisfactory level, right? So the accusations were already kind of I hate using the word, but are you kind of a bit of a snowflake? Dude, the guy's... But the guy who made the accusations came out later and said, Jimmy paid me very well. Jimmy paid me even after I quit so I could move and go backpacking. He gave me basically a severance package. So basically, Jimmy pays you very, very well. Jimmy pays you even after you leave the company so you can pursue your dreams. So he paid for your backpack trip. He paid for you to move to LA after you no longer worked with him. And he paid you really good money while you worked with him. And you're out here throwing him under the bus because you were offended because he's very, very demanding and uses foul language. I'm not saying that Jimmy should use the R word, right? I did at his age, at 20 years old, absolutely, I was using the R word. It took me a year. And my mom was a social worker, so I already knew it was wrong to use that word. But, I didn't think anything of it back then. It was common, just like we used to call people, just straight up. I grew up in the 90s, right? We used to call people gay as an insult. That was like, what are you, gay? That was like a big thing in the 90s and early 2000s. Common insult we would throw out there. Obviously, I don't use that slur anymore, right? I don't use these terminology because I know better. It doesn't even pop in my mind when I'm angry at something. Like if I'm out and I've had a little too much and I'm out at the bar or whatever, and someone's like getting in my face, because I've had this happen. Someone will get in my face unprovoked, which is the stupidest thing because drunk people just do dumb shit. They get in my face and they're like trying to like insult my girl or whatever. And they might be using the foulest of language, calling her a C word, bringing up a bunch, and I'll just be like, you would just better back off, motherfucker. I'll swear, but I ain't bringing out like the big gun words. I'm not bringing out the big guns. So it's kind of like this kid was a kid. He was 17 and he got offended. And he didn't like that Jimmy made him work really, really hard. Jimmy also paid you really well to work really hard. It's like, your job was to video edit. He told you how he wanted the video edited. You didn't quite do it to the satisfactory level. He told you your edits effing sucked. And he wanted you to go back and redo it. What the hell's the problem? And then when you told Jimmy you didn't want to work there anymore, he gave you a severance package. So like, what more could you add? Like, yes, Jimmy absolutely needs to learn to eliminate certain language from his interactions with employees. He has to drop the R word. Maybe he already has dropped the R word by now. But yeah, he's got to drop the R word. He's got to drop. Maybe he should work on not maybe cussing at employees so much. By the way, that still happens in today's workplace all the time. Across all workspaces. You work at McDonald's, you might get cussed at by a manager. Like, cussing is kind of part of. You could not like it, but it's part of society. So it's kind of like, I don't know what the big deal is here. The big deal is the reason people are blasting him. And by the way, a lot of people are defending Mr. Beast because even if these accusations are true, a lot of people are like, so he's a boss. It just sounds like he's a boss who's maybe using language he should probably learn not to use. But setting the language aside, what is he doing wrong? He's highly demanding of an employee he pays very well at a very young age to do something a certain way that he didn't do right. Sounds like a boss to me. Did the 17-year-old feel pressure? Was he a kid? Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have put himself in that position. And he quit. But then Mr. Beast paid him handsomely when he quit. So it's a dumb, and that's like what the accusations are. The accusations are basically, he's a bully. You mean he's a boss? He's a boss. That's what he is. Mr. Beast is a boss. He's a bully because he has expectations, because he has demands of the people he pays to do things a certain way with his videos, because he knows what works and what doesn't. Clearly he knows what works. Look how successful he is. So you're talking about the number one philanthropy channel. I can't even say the word. The number one charity channel on YouTube that helps hundreds, thousands of people a year, helps save the world with the trees movement. This guy that does all this good work is demanding and a dick behind the scenes because he knows what makes his videos work so he can reach the biggest audience and help the most people. Then what? Don't work for him then. If you can't handle that, don't. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, right? How many times do we see Gordon Ramsay, speaking of kitchens, go off on people? If you can't take the heat, get out of the fucking kitchen. You don't have to work for him. He's not holding you over a fire and saying you need to work here. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's my thing. And I don't know Mr. Beast personally. I don't know Jimmy personally. Jimmy Donaldson, that's what it is. I don't know him personally. So maybe he really is a super shit person. But all the accusations I keep hearing about him behind the scenes, I'm like, he just sounds like a boss. I kind of feel like, and I'm in my mid-30s, so I don't know what new generation is like. Some of you guys are in that new generation. Like, do kids coming out of high school these days, maybe because of things like YouTube and social media, do they really think that like life is easy and that things are just handed to you? I know Mr. Beast makes it look like things are handed to you, but that's because he's doing charity. He's doing philanthropy. Do people coming out of high school really think that like life's just that easy? There's not any hardships. I slept on park benches. There was 2 months in the middle of winter. I was sleeping in my car with no gas, nowhere to go. freezing my ass off with a single blanket. I'm not saying I've had the hardest life. There's homeless people that have way worse than me. I was homeless at the time. Homeless people that have way worse. They don't have cars, right? They don't have shelter. So I'm not even comparing my situation to others. I'm saying that I've had a harder life than some. And yet, I understand because of that hard life that, yeah, people are going to give you shit. People are going to kick you. People are going to have high expectations at a job. And when you don't meet those expectations, you're going to get shit. You're going to get shit. And I feel like, and I feel this with my daughter. She's turning 11. She has it in her mind that when she graduates high school, life is just going to be handed to her. She's going to be able to go on Instagram and be a model. She's going to be able to go on YouTube, and just because she's a girl, everyone's going to want to watch her do funny, stupid shit. She just automatically assumes she can get out of high school and just do anything she wants and make millions of dollars. Which, by the way, that does happen for the rare few people, right? Happened for Jake Paul, happened for Logan Paul, happened for, Catch Me on the Outside girl, right? Like, for the rare few people, that is actually reality. But it's so rare. It happens to so few people. That's not a realistic expectation. But that's what a lot of the youth are thinking now growing up. So I feel like all the accusers of Mr. Beast are super young, which makes me feel like I think they just don't know what the real world is like. It's ruthless. Life is hard. The moment mommy and daddy ain't there for you anymore and you got to take care of yourself, even some of us even have hard parent life. But I'm saying when mommy and daddy are no longer, fixing all your mistakes and you got to take care of yourself and you got kicked out the door and you got to figure out life, it's hard. I'm a parent of 3. I know how hard it is. Oh my God, parenting itself is a whole different journey. Like, damn, So when I hear people complain about him, it's like, man, these complaints don't really sound that bad. It doesn't really sound like you had it that hard. The guy was paying you a lot of money. It doesn't really sound that bad. I would love to be paid a lot of money, and then when I fuck up, have the guy be like, you're doing a fucking stupid-ass job. Go redo this shit. Go work over. Fine, I ain't got a life. I'm 17. I'm 17, and you're paying me $100,000 a year. I'll do whatever the fuck you're telling me to do. God damn, I love that app. Like, you should be thankful you have that opportunity. And it just seems like they just expect the world to be handed to them, and then it's going to be easy. That I think, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this isn't what, but this is just my experience. I was an after school teacher for a while in my life. I have my own kids. I see it firsthand. I feel like this is what's happening to the youth, but I could be wrong. And I think social media plays a lot in that because there are people that do leave high school and then find this instant sort of social media success. I feel like I'm kind of the anti of that. Like I'm slowly getting successful in YouTube, but I'm in my mid 30s, man. I worked retail. I used to do plumbing. I've done roofing. I've worked at McDonald's. I worked at Kmart. I've been all over the place. I've worked a bunch of different jobs in my life before I ended up doing YouTube. But even then, I still have another job right now. So, because I know the realities of the world. But I grew up in a different era. So, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm nuts. No, you're right, but I feel like it's always been this way with sports. Well, yeah, like even athletes, But here's the thing. I'll say this with sports. If you're like you're someone trying to make it as a professional athlete, I mean, you're still working hard, right? You don't just make it as a professional athlete because, hey, I want to be a professional athlete. You know how many hours in the gym you got to spend, how much time you got to study in the film room, how much practice time. Like, I'm not going to take anything away from professional athletes. Yeah, you can argue maybe they make too much money. They make what the value of the eyeballs that are watching them is. So I don't have a problem with the money they make. I know they work insanely hard. Giannis on the Milwaukee Bucks, right? Well, my favorite player in the NBA. Dude, the guy's working basically 365 days a year to be the best he can be at what he does for a living. But yeah, he makes millions. But man, he works hard. He used to sell freaking watches on the streets in Greece just to put bread on the table. Like, he works hard at what he does. So I don't knock people that are sports athletes, because I know how hard it is to be a professional athlete. I was a 4-sport athlete growing up. It's freaking hard. And that was just as a kid. I can't imagine as an adult when your body, doesn't bounce back from things as quickly as it did. You do a quick, 8 reps, or I'm sorry, eight sets at 15 reps at 230 pounds on the bench, and when you're a kid and you're in high school, God, you recover in like a day. When you're an adult, your arms are still like hanging at your side like anchors 2 days later. Someone brought a pet duck to Walmart. What the hell, dude? Why do all these crazy things always happen at Walmart? Right? There's so many crazy things that happen at Walmart. Oh, I'm gonna get in the NFL. Yeah, a lot of people think like, oh yeah, because like I'm a star running back, in my high school, I'm gonna get to the NFL. Like, let's slow your roll. Let's see you even go to a D1 school and start there first. Okay, so magical Korok says, I understand that a large part of my life will suck. I say life is what you make of it, okay? So my advice, as someone, I've gone through hard times. Life is what you make of it. Just because you're going through a hard time doesn't mean your life has to suck. Not once when I was homeless did I think my life sucks. Never even crossed my mind. I thought, hey, I'm making the best of a shitty situation, and how am I going to get out of this situation? How am I going to stop being homeless? And I got myself out of it. So that's my thing. I look at it as, hey, it's all about your attitude, right? We're all going to go through some shit. Everyone. Some shit bigger than other shit. But we're all going to go through shit. And it's all going to affect our mentality in different ways, because we're all different people, and our capacity for handling stress and different things is different. The question is, what's your attitude going to be when the shit hits? Yes, you're going to have stress. But can you see the positive? Can you see the light at the end of the tunnel? And I can. At least I can now. Now, not at all times in my life could I, but I can now. So for me, life had some shitty moments, but my life overall has been pretty good. Speaking of sports, Tampa Bay Rays manager insists team will playing home games in Montreal soon. Interesting. There's a channel called George the Goose. He takes a goose to Walmart, and the duck will untie other shoes, eats a cabbage at the checkout. All right. Never knew. Yeah, I don't make a big deal about me. I had a car. That was like the one asset I had. I fully owned my vehicle at the time. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't make a big deal out of it. It's just part of my experience growing up. That's why I don't talk about it very often. I don't want any woe is me bullshit. There is no woe is me. Dude, I've had a good life. I'm continuing to have a good life. I have a blessed life. 3 wonderful kids. I have my own home. I'm able to do this YouTube thing and have all this technology crap around me that I never thought I'd have. For the most part, if I want a video game, I can find a way to buy it. Even if the bank account is empty, I'll still find a way to buy it. I'm good, man. Food on the table, warm, doing good in college. Life is good. I got a good woman. Dude, life is great. And here I am streaming, where people sometimes donate a little bit of cash, and I do shots and drinks and have fun. It's like I get paid to have fun. It's kind of cool. And now, I'm paying myself to have some fun. Hold on. What is this? What is going on? Why is that not working? There it is. That's what I was trying to do. All right. Let's get out the big guns here. George the Goose, and you can link me to one of his videos. Sonic Man, damn. Hey, Sonic Man the best. You gonna be around for my E3 coverage? I need to know, because I know I'm gonna be adding some mods, but I want to know of my current mods who's gonna be there for some of it. You don't have to be there for all of it. I just want to. Mostly when I want to make sure during E3 isn't happening. People are gonna spam. Like if there's a ton of people here, I'll probably put on slow chat to cut down on some of the spam. And I'll do members only chat if it gets really insane. I don't think it's gonna get really insane. By the way, if you want to be a member, it's like as low as $3. If you guys are interested in that, hitting the join button, becoming a leader, or you can go higher and become a champion. We have different tiers. But what I was gonna say is, if you want to during E3, the big thing I want our mods to do is not is make sure people aren't attacking others. That's the stuff I want you to walk about. The chat's going to be insane and be really fast. I just want to make sure that we catch when people are getting attacked. I don't want anyone getting attacked. That's the main thing I want mods to focus on. Nobody attacking anyone. They could say and have opinions on the stuff being done. They could say things about me. I don't care. But just don't attack any of the viewers. Cheers to myself. I bought myself a shotty because I wanted to do some Jaeger. Let's go. Man, I keep itching this one spot on my nose. See, this is like beard problems. You always get a little itchy. I got to start taking care of it. I have some moisturizer. This beard specific moisturizer that makes it not itchy. I got to start using it more. I maintain this, by the way. I trim this down. I keep this way. It's not stubble. It's more than stubble, but I don't let it grow out a lot. I can. God, in like a week, this would be like, caveman. Let's see here. I'm going to take a couple days off work for part of the week. Doesn't mean I will get it though. Yeah. My fiance took off work. She got it, so she could take care of the kids for me. Because I'm worried about Monday and Tuesday, of course, because it's summer. My kids are home, but she's gonna be home to take care of it. So I hope there's a lot of people. You put in a lot of work. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm still talking to. Today's the first day in 3 weeks I did not have an email chain happen that resulted in me having more products to give away. Does that mean things are slowing down? I have no idea. What I do know is we're giving away so much already that even if no other company and no other money comes to commit to giveaways, we already have so many of them. So many giveaways. It's insane. We're making an event. It's the biggest thing I've ever done as a channel. I hope all of you can make it just to come and have some fun with us. Even if you don't win. Just have some fun with us. Right? We're here to celebrate gaming. That's what E3 is to me, man. Lots of gaming news. You can be disappointed or not in certain presentations. I don't care. Bottom line is, for 4 days in the middle of June, we get to come together as a community and just celebrate a time when a bunch of games are being shown off, whether you're excited for them or not. It's sweet. And in the meantime, we get to play some games, play some competitions, give away some stuff, try to put smiles on as many faces as we can. It's pretty cool. Do we know PS3 sales? PS3 is slightly ahead of GBA. It's like 1 million ahead of GBA. So it's technically ahead of Switch, at least as of the reported numbers. Later, Magical Korok. I can't take off college, but my job, they give me E3 off because it's the one time they really don't need me. Nice. I'm going to do a reaction video to Nintendo's, but for Microsoft, I may just do a follow-up video. I don't think I will be covering EA. I don't think EA is partaking. Unless EA is doing their own EA. Did EA say they're doing an EA Play this year? Because EA is not part of E3 as far as I'm aware. But that doesn't mean they won't do like an EA Play before E3. They tend to do that a lot. PS3 sold 87.4. There you go. All right, Neil Agasto, enjoy your Resident Evil 8 gameplay, man. Enjoy. I hope you have a good time. I can respect all. I mean, I dude, EA funded It Takes Two, very good game. A Way Out, very good game. Squadrons, very good game. The Last Jedi, or whatever it was, Jedi Fallen Order, that's what it was. Very good game. So yeah, EA's got some shitty practices at times. But honestly, he also has some good games. That's why they keep getting away with it. I enjoy a bunch of EA games, so I'm not going to sit here and destroy them. I think they do some dumb shit, but every... Test team 1 2. Test team 1 2. Think we're back. I had to reboot my computer. Press F in the chat for Streamlabs. Yeah, Streamlabs was like locking my computer up. That's why. So it wasn't my internet. Streamlabs was locking things up, so I had to reboot. Rebooted the computer, came back, everything's working. So everything's working, and probably this too. Oh my gosh, we're back again. Nintendo Prime and streaming. Having some fun. We're back. Anyway, about EA. We back. I just knew I just needed a moment. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Why can I see the chat? Why can I talk in the chat, but my stream's not working? That doesn't make any sense. Streamlabs was all, hey, we don't like you. Hopefully that doesn't happen during E3. That would suck. All right, was it just me or was the stream stuck on a loop? Yeah, no, it's not just you. It's not just you. Streamlabs crashed, so that's why. Yeah, I was texting my fiance. Streamlabs crashed. That's what happened. We are ending the stream though in like 6 minutes. So I did all this work to get the stream back just to be like, hey, we're leaving in 6 minutes. Hi. Any mistakes and problems are be made now before the big show. Yeah. Any hiccups like that's one reason why we're streaming so much. Anything that's happening, I have a log for it. I want to know what happens, when it happens, what caused it, so I can get it all cleaned up before E3. Because I don't want that to happen during E3. Kept closing stream and phone, etc. I understand. What's cool is we bounce back instantly to like 58, 60 viewers. That's kind of cool. We bounce back. We're not at our peak. Our peak was 117. But people started dipping out when I started getting real and talking about Mr. Beast, because I'm sure there was like 10 people that were like, oh my god, he's talking about Mr. Beast drama. I'm out of here. F this Nate guy. He's wrong. All right, cool. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm good with that. I'm not always right all the time, okay? Man, we're getting really close to 67,000 subs. It'd be sweet if we got to 70K before E3. I don't know. I'm not that presumptuous. We're getting 70K. Maybe 68. Maybe. We ain't getting 70 though. Was it just me or was the street? Yeah, no. Yeah, we already talked about that. Do you want another Zelda remake? Dude, remake them all. Remake them all. Give me every remake under the sun. Give them all to me. I'm not one of those people that cares about remakes. Wii U ports, give them to me. Nintendo, you see my wallet? You see that? A Zelda remake? Are you kidding me? Do you see what I rock in my pocket every day? And I'm not just talking about my pocket rocket. Come on. Clearly. They have me by the ball sack when it comes to Zelda. So. Did you hear about 21 tons rocket from China? American news sites are mistaking it for 21 tons. I have no idea. I stopped watching news. Bottom line is, let me know when they're going to bomb me. Otherwise, you know what? I'm going to live my life. you want Breath of the Wild Remake running on the RE engine? No. I mean, RE engine's nice, but no. I know that's what Monster Hunter Rise runs on. But no. I'm good with the actual Breath of the Wild engine. You see that physics engine? That's not in. That's not in RE engine, dude. The physics engine is awesome. SpaceX is interesting. Yeah, didn't they just launch something today? I thought SpaceX had a launch today for something. Maybe I'm wrong. I swore they had a launch today, though. No, it was yesterday. Whatever. It was close. Starlink will be an internet competitor in every place in the world. So Starlink is great. When it's all said and done, Starlink is cool because it's going to be like a global internet mesh satellite network. I love it. At the same point, it's never going to be as good as a fiber connection or even a copper cable connection. So it's more important for people that live like out in the country or out in countries where they don't have internet really. That's where it matters. For people that have access to cable internet, people who have access to fiber internet, SpaceX really doesn't matter. Unless they make it like $2 a month and people are willing to give up a bunch of speed. And they're not, because you got to buy this whole kit, to even use it. So China has a rocket falling from space. That's the news. China has a rocket falling. It says the chance of it hitting a populated area is small, but not zero. Huh. They're doing some weird things, man. Let me see. Starlink will supposedly be 100 megabytes per second, while regular internet gives 20. Logic. Your internet provider, if they are a cable using copper wire provider, is holding back. Let me show you something. And see if you can see it. I'm on Wi-Fi on my phone. I'm also streaming. So I'm streaming. I'm obviously hitting my network card. I brought a speed test. Let's go. It's connecting. My router's right here, so I'm close to the router, but I am streaming right now. Look at that connection. So you're talking about 100 megabytes a second, right? I'm on cable copper internet. I don't know if you can see it. It was hitting. I don't know how well that shows up. It hit 766 down while I'm streaming. Also, while I'm streaming, 35 up. Now the up isn't that great. I admit that. That's just Spectrum being dumb. But on copper, 100 megabytes is nothing. Your provider is just holding back. I don't care if it shows my IP. Go for it. Follow my IP. Find my house. Good luck. You wanna know why I say good luck? I run through VPNs and firewalls. Good luck. Good luck using the IP on here to find me. Good luck. Now it does tell you what town. No, never mind. Never mind. It doesn't tell you what town I'm in because I'm not in that town. It just says what server it's hitting. Yep. See, now it's at 800. 842, 845, 850. Yeah. And my IP address is actually not shown at all either. So. Anyways. I'm all good. Imagine I did an entire video while singing. That'd be crazy. Keep up the great content, Nate. Love your show. Thank you so much, man. I try. And I have no idea what tomorrow's video is. Well, I have some video, things on like the back burner that I can pull out anytime. But I don't actually know what the news cycle is going to be yet or anything like that, and I do a lot of news, so we'll see. All right. Well, now that I got to come back to say proper goodbyes, we're going to be ending the stream here. I got to go pick up the house a little bit. I got to go take a shower. Have a little bite to eat, get ready for bed. So let's go shout out to all of our donations. I'm going to go in order of the donations and super chats. So we had Groove for $1, Groove for another $1, Groove for another $1. That's 3. We had Jay Sang 98 who donated $3. We had Groove for another $1, Groove for another $1 for a total of 5 there. Groove for another $1 for 6. We had Ray did a super chat for 5 earlier today. Thank you so much. Groove for $3 more. So that's 9. Groove for another $5. That's 14. Pretty sure Groove passed out. And then he did a $15 donation to kick off things earlier for a total of $29 from Groove. Thank you so much. Timothy Bryce did a $4.99 super chat as well. Stare at Me did a $2 Canadian super chat. Thank you so much. We also had one new subscriber during the stream, but I can't seem to see the notification for who that was. So thank you so much. Have I met Carlos? No. All right, you guys have a good night. I'll catch you tomorrow with my next video or 2. Plus, there'll be a live stream tomorrow night as well. All right. Catch you guys later. Peace.